Check 1 2. Check 1 2. All right. We're good. Lawya, you can hear me, right?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Let's go. I'll start it from now. The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible,
All right.
the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy. You're invited. That's right, brothers and sisters. The Hebrew and Bible Academy. You are invited. I'm Elder Rawchaa of the Gathering of Christ Church, here today in the midst of Hebrew and Bible Academy Week with a serious lesson and discussion this evening. You see the title. Oh, yeah. You see the title. From Japheth, China to Babylon. That's right. This is the Gathered of Christ Church. And you may hear something today or tonight that you've never understood. We never understood this to some degree. Okay. Why does it seem as if the Western world, America, the UK, and other areas, why does it seem as if right now these particular countries are getting inundated with Asians? Not just Asians, Chinese, East Indians. Why does it seem like these countries are getting inundated, the Western world, with Chinese and East Indians right now, as if someone opened the gate? Now, I believe in freedom. I believe people should be able to travel wherever they would like. But, folks, immigration is at what I would call, they're coming in in masses. This is a biblical proportion right now. As if something politically is going on in the earth that these particular people are needed for a specific purpose here in America, UK. Now, mind you, at one time it was the slave class of these particular Western world countries that were, what I would call the political predominant from the servant class. It was blacks. Later, it was, Hispanics or the people who were conquered here before our people got here, right? But something political is going on. And I'm going to talk about that and quantify it all today. And you're going to realize why there's so many Asians and East Indians in America. With the lesson we have prepared for you right now, from Japheth, China, to Babylon. Oh, yeah. One of those groundbreaking discussions we'll have this evening. Now, let me make a disclaimer. We're the Gathering of Christ Church. We accept all people, hate no people. Okay? But we call a spade, and we, through the Bible, connect the dots. That's right. And just like we've pointed out the synagogue of Satan, we have pointed out what's going to happen in the near future according to the Bible. Now we must this evening, identify the characters in this epic, prophetic, what I would call the Most High's production. Let me tell you, Asians and East Indians have slipped through the cracks for so long, and they have everyone looking at the so-called white man. White supremacy, white this, white that. But I'm going to tell you one thing about a leader, especially the synagogue of Satan at the helm of this all. If he's going to go down, he's not going to go down alone. He's told all the Gentiles, we've been fronting for you. We've been taking all the shots for you Gentiles against the children of Israel. Okay? You're going to have to show forth your face to let the people know and let the world know, and even the God of Israel, that listen, it's not just us. Okay? All my compadres must come to the front. And let me tell you, folks, that's what's going on right now. And we're going to quantify this quickly, sharply, of why we're seeing so many East Indians and Asians in America in specific. Tonight, folks, it's Bible prophecy. I don't believe it's a coincidence that a disease would show up, start in China and end up in North Philadelphia. Maybe it's a coincidence. Okay. Maybe it's just a coincidence that something happens all the way over there, only to have our people be disproportionately affected by it. And guess what? The way they're playing this out, you can't blame that on the white man. Even Trump is calling it China virus or whatever he would like to call it. So you can't blame the white man for this one, can you? You know why? You know why people are so confused? I'll tell you why. Because you don't understand the Bible's narrative, how it was prophesied that the Gentiles would keep us down. They would work in tandem. They would work in turns to keep us down, knowing the prophecy of Judah rising, the lion rising, shouting out to the 12 tribes to come back, to stand in the last war against evil. Oh yeah, do we have a lesson for you today, folks? Man, one of those groundbreaking ones. Remember years ago we did From Babylon, Rome to America? Well, tonight, oh yeah, you get From Japheth, China, to Babylon. And I'm talking about the daughter of Babylon. How Japheth, that's right, the son of Japheth, became China. And China would get in league with Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, to come against the children of Israel in the last days. And we're living it. And now it's playing out geopolitically as you and I watch prophecy unfold. But no one is really connecting the dots. The Muslims aren't connecting the dots. The Christians definitely aren't connecting the dots. All right? I mean, sooner or later, the Hebrews and the Israelites have to get into some prophecy, right? And just stop talking about the white man is the devil, the white man this and somebody. We have to get out of this victim teaching and get on with prophecy and understand that it's deeper than just the white man. He would rather you put it on all on him while, that's right, while he sit behind and send his soldiers. And guess what? His soldiers are black and brown people. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, folks. So now, since you want to talk about the white man, the devil and all that, okay, you can say that you want. Focus on that while a black and brown person is led over here with, and while they putting their foot on your necks, while they're now looking at you saying that I'm your doctor, I'm your lawyer, I'm your teacher, I'm your master. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, we're going to get it in. I need to take my time with this one. I'm going to take my time, if I will. Come on in, folks. Come on in. I need y'all to hit that like button because this thing is about to turn up right now. One of the lessons that are backed by popular demand, but we're going to twist it up a little bit. From Japheth, China to Babylon tonight. Now, before I go into that, I would be amiss, because you know I like to give some type of Hebrew history and all that in the first week leading up to the Hebrew and Bible Academy. We are in Hebrew and Bible Academy week. Okay? That's right. This Sunday begins the first installment of the Hebrew and Bible Academy. That's right. The creation of the universe starts week 1. Who created the heaven and earth? How was it created? And how long did it take? Oh, yeah. We're going to go into that, breaking it down like you've never seen from any religious institution. We guarantee it. We're going to also go into some of the lost books and confirm which books the Bible verifies. In this lesson, the creation of the universe, you're going to find out not only was Ahia, the God of all, was there. That's right. In the scriptures, it tells us in the beginning, he made many gods. It wasn't, he's the head God, but all the celestial were named gods or powers in the heavens before this realm was created. Okay. And the spirit that would one day be the Savior, Yeshua, who was prophesied in the heavenly tables, he was there with the Most High from the beginning, and I can prove it. It's going to be proven out of the Bible that he was with the Most High from the beginning. When the Most High made him out of himself, being the great I am, time began. This is why Christ says, I'm Alpha and Omega. That in of itself implies time. Beginning and end implies time. Okay? But the Most High, the great I am, Ahia, Ashar, Ahia, is not subjected to time or space. He always existed. Time is a matter. It's a heavenly matter that the Most High created. The same like as if a man can create a cup. Okay, if I create this cup, I can manipulate it, I can bend it, and guess what? I operate on the outside of it. Time was created, and the Most High has always been on the outside of it. When he brought his son out himself, time began. Time, that's right. Time began, and it came to this realm. Time and space for a judgment. Gods fell. They were trapped here. And this was before Adam, folks. Before Adam. The Most High made God. He made time. He made Christ. He made the Holy Spirit. He made gods. And the angels. That's another name for them. See? Lesser gods. And they were trapped in this realm, the face of the deep. So this coming academy, I'm going to focus on that trap, the face of the deep. Heaven, that's right, you got it, the creation of the heavens. Now, let me go over this and then we can jump right into the lesson. I see Lawya, he's with me here. Shalom, Elder Lawya.
Yes, sir. Shalom, Elder. Shalom to the family as well.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing well. Bless you, young man. Let's go in. Hebrew and Bible Academy, starting August 28th. I know you're ready.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So let's go through it. History, Hebrew, the Hebrew and Bible Academy, right? Let's go. August 28th, 9 a.m. New York time. 5 brand new lessons. Go to historytimes.org. A new heaven and a new earth. The priesthood and mysteries of the Essenes. Brand new lesson. Who were the Essenes? You'll learn it here first. How the Essenes eventually would lay down the priesthood because it belonged to Melchizedek, king and priest, who is Christ. Melchizedek is not an individual more so than a title. Adam was the first Melchizedek. He held the law. The Most High gave him the law and dominion. He was king and priest. So people are backward when they think Melchizedek is one man that came down during Abraham's time. It's not one individual. It's a position. That position was split amongst the 12 tribes of Israel when the Most High made Judah king and Levi priest, only for him to join those two, that's right, titles together with his son. That was prophesied that he would come in the order of Melchizedek. That's an order. Noah, Shem, Abram. That order came down through the bloodline of the righteous, where Christ would unite those two again like it once was in the beginning. He would become the new Adam, the first Melchizedek. That and more will be broken down when I go into the priesthood of the Essenes. The fall of Judea, we will teach you, brothers and sisters, how our people were originally, that's right, the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi in the land of Judea before the Romans came to conquer our lands. Okay, when Vespasian and Titus, this is history. You Christians look this up. History. It was the Edomites who came against our country, our land, Judea. We fled into Africa running from Roman persecution. Okay, and that began the fall of kings, the Hebrews, the Israelites. Okay, and we're going to go into that, the fall of Judea. I'm going to have a lot of historical papers as well as university information that's hid in some of these universities concerning the same history, but yet these people refuse to teach this information in the universities. They deem us finding out that we're Hebrew or Israelites is a threat to their geopolitical structure. Next, who is the synagogue of Satan? One might ask. Oh yeah, we'll be going into that and more. And we have a special lesson on Daniel and its part in the end time prophecies. That's right, brothers and sisters. As you know, this is Elder Rawchaa, myself, and Elder Lawya. We want to see you, brothers and sisters, live in the Hebrew and Bible Academy. Get in now. We have the administration working around the clock. And please don't try to call me in the last minute if you didn't enroll, because I'm going to be studying and getting ready week 1 for the Academy this coming Sunday. historytimes.org. Okay, Elder Lawya, I think we need to go in now.
Yes, sir. Let's get started.
We need to go in. Okay. We'll see you all there. historytimes.org. Okay. Right now we have 1,500 people. That's enough. That is enough. That is enough. All right. So, Elder, let's go.
All right.
Brand new lesson from Japheth, China, to Babylon. Elder Lawya, let's get the scripture real quick. Let's get the scripture of how Japheth made herself in the image of Babylon. China is baby Babylon. She have patterned herself after the wickedness that we all view and see here in America. Everything America created, that's right, China made a cheaper copy of. She's no originator, speaking of China. Okay, she's baby Babylon. Now, you have some people out there erroneously teaching that Moab and Ammon are the Chinese and the Japanese. Well, we'll straighten that out too tonight, okay? Just so that everyone can get on board with the modern day prophecy to why Asians are overrunning the Western world and are misplacing our people. They're replacing us in the ghettos. When Chinese and East Indians come into our areas, when they come into America, they're not taking over, folks, the rural areas. They're not taking over the suburbs, folks, even though a lot of them are filtering over there now. But the majority of the time when they come into the country through immigration, they're replacing our people. And I wonder what happened in the last couple of years that could allow something to happen where actually space would be available for them. I wonder what happened in the last few years that could have coincidentally made it where there was enough people to replace those who are no longer with us. But I digress. Elder Lawya, let's read the scripture.
Yes, sir. 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse number 1. Woe be unto thee, Babylon, and Asia.
Well, hold up.
Woe be unto...
Hold up. Woe be unto you. Destruction is coming unto you. Babylon and Asia. Now, we know that Asia is China, and I'm going to prove that today. God is talking about China right here. She's not going to get away. Esau have been taking all the shots too long. And he say, listen, my little cousin, you got to come up and show your face too, because we're taking all the hits. The children of Israel are waking up and they're pointing. And guess what? They are putting all the blame on me being Esau, while all of you benefit from me keeping them down. You're going to have to come into this war against the children of Israel with me. Frontal. Folks, this is a paid social attack against God's people. And that's why God says what? Woe unto Babylon and Asia. They're conspiring against God's people. Check it out. Let's go.
Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria.
Egypt and Syria. Because all of these countries, the Middle East and all these different areas that are now under attack, all conspired against us under Esau. Right? You would have thought a people such as us, our people have always been forgiven, loving all people. You would have thought by now that America, after chattel slavery, that our people would have been the first in line for everything outside of white people. You would have thought that, wouldn't you? I mean, the North American Indians should have been in line too. So the Mexicans. They shouldn't be at the end getting benefits. If we were the first conquered, should not we have been the one who benefit from the rise and the prosperity of Babylon or America? Shouldn't we have a place in the spoils? But it seems like you would have people come from Syria, Middle East, And they'll come into America and they'll have convenience stores with loans and grants for them. They would have they would have gas stations, and as if businesses are automatically doled out above the people whom this country was built on. How did every other nation leapfrog us? Is there a political discussion concerning us with them? You're going to find out tonight. Absolutely. Read. Come on.
Yes, sir. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria.
Come on.
Gird up yourselves with clothes of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand.
Your destruction is at hand. Thus saith the Lord of the Bible, God, Ahia, the God of the Hebrews. Judgment is coming. This is why these nations are panicking, aligning themselves together against us. This is why they politically, under the Rockefeller Foundation, that's right, folks, y'all didn't know this, under the Rockefeller Foundation, folks, they came up in a way in which they would turn our public schools into indoctrination centers, where it would be more so about teaching us how to become politically radical or altogether unintelligent, low IQ students. All of that was through the Rockefeller Foundation, where in the suburbs and other places, they would get a higher education opposed to the inner cities under Rockefeller. That was a plan. Why? Because we were becoming too intelligent and using the intelligence to free our people, like Malcolm, Martin. So that's right. In the 70s, there were I'm going to tell you, international money coming in to privatize our schools, to control the inner city indoctrination of our people, because they realized, hey, we have to keep them just dumb enough to work our machines. That's it. Because if they become intelligent, they'll begin to use that intelligence against us, and they'll go into that book, that Bible, and become a force to be reckoned with. We're not going to teach them how to overthrow us. We'll teach them just enough to put a tire on a car. Okay? Come on, Elder Lawya, let's do it.
Yes, sir. Verse 3. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench the fire in the stubble when it have begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer? The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away?
Who can drive them away? Plagues are coming. Plagues are coming, and they're going to come right back on the people who thought that these plagues would be utilized to exterminate us. I need you to go right down, Elder Lawya, when it tell you they'll go back to Babylon, and then the Most High will point to Asia, who made herself like the whore, who patterned herself after Babylon. At one point, Asians were about honor. Okay. Look at those old Chinese flicks. Their women were always dainty, feminine, quiet. They come over here. They bring their Asian children over here, their Japhetic children. And next thing you know, they got a bull ring in their nose with green hair, with punk tattoos going down one leg and one arm. They came over here nice and dainty, and now they're radicalized. Been dumbed down with the rest of the world. Read it for me, Elder Lawya, so I can jump in now.
Yes, sir. 2 Ezra 15 and 43. And they shall go steadfastly unto Babylon and make her afraid. They shall come to her and beseech her the star and all wrath shall they pour out upon her.
That's talking
Then
about a
shall-
nuclear hit coming to Babylon, according to prophecy. And you know what? This is why they won't allow the Apocrypha to be read in churches. It ties everything together. Read.
They shall come to her and besiege her. The star and all wrath shall they pour out upon her. Then shall the dust and smoke go up unto heaven, and all they that be about her shall bewail her. And they that remain under her shall do service unto them that have put her in fear. And thou, Asia,
Thou who?
and thou, Asia,
Thou Asia, read.
thou art partaker of the hope of Babylon.
You are
and art the-
hold up. They are partakers in the hope of Babylon. This is why Asia is so invested in America. See, people are confused, brothers and sisters. They believe that China brought up America, and that's why America's so indebted to China. No, folks. The whole bank system was set up. That's right, folks. Out of the 10 horns, under the Rothschilds, the Bank of England. It's really the first bank controlling everything, even China. China invested in America so that she can partake in the prosperity of America, not to take it over. She traded in her values and honor for a nickel. That's right. That's just like the harlot. The dishonorable begin to give her children over to sacrifice, to be demoralized like so many quote unquote Americans. She made herself like unto America. So now the Most High says after America's judged, he's coming after China. He's coming after China. See? All nations will be revealed who have had a part in destroying our people before the end. It's just that most people aren't looking at the Bible identifying the characters. Read on. Let's do it.
Yes, sir. Verse 46, 2nd Esdras 15 and 46. And thou, Asia, that art partaker of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person.
And is the glory of her persons. So Asia has now fused herself with America. And by doing so, have accepted the judgment of America. This is why they're working in tandem politically together against us. Y'all don't hear me. This is why they're opening up the borders and giving all these jobs, grants, and everything to these other people as if they're just opening up the floodgates. Folks, this is political posturing against the people. But if you're going to have all these people come into America, what people are they replacing? What are you doing geopolitically or within the inner cities to make room? Knock, 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 knock. Y'all better wake up. You can't let all these people into a crowded country claiming that the world is overpopulated. In one sentence, you say the world is overpopulated. And then the other, you're going to let all these people in without saying who they're replacing. It's clear, the plan. The plan started right after the election of 2019 going into 2020. That's when the plan began, and our people were bamboozled. Read it again, Elder Lawya. Let's go.
Sorry about that. This is 2nd Esdras 15 and 46.
Come on.
And thou, Asia, that art partaker of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person. Woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her.
You are wretch because you made yourself like unto her. China had become baby Babylon, America. China even made an exact copy in China of Times Square. Lady Liberty. You can find all that over in China. Japheth is his name. Japheth. So not only do we reveal the synagogue of Satan, we also reveal, that's right, his accomplices. That's an accomplice. Come on, Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir. Woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself
The
like
Most
unto
High
her.
called them wretch because they gave up their honor that they once had in China. And did what? Read.
Because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom.
And have decked thy daughters in whoredom. This is God, the God of the Bible. Anyone who would outright have a dragon, folks, as an emblem over a country, if they're not outright telling you who they're worshiping. See? They run down with those parades and they got the dragon and moving. What do you think that's about, folks? The dragon is the devil in Revelation 12. Come on, Elder Lawyer.
And hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they might please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee.
They always desired to come out of those little dainty traditional clothes and show what they really do behind closed doors. So it's time to do it, Elder Lawyer. Follow me, Elder Lawyer, on the screen. May 2021. May 2021. Joe Biden. Here's what the new hate crimes law aims to do as attacks on Asian Americans rise. They signed a bill. The president. Hate has no place in America. And I look forward to making that clear this afternoon by signing the C-19 Hate Crime Act into law. Now, what do these people, Asian Americans, have to do with the C-19 Crimes Act law? Now, don't forget, right before Joe Biden was voted in, folks, he went on the Breakfast Club and said, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. And listen, within his inaugural speech, he said blacks had his back. He wouldn't have won it unless blacks had his back. And he said, I will have your back. Speaking of our people, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, our people, the blacks in America. And no soon as he get in, he begins to sign an Asian bill. What you have to realize, folks, these are PACs, programs to finance something. They're really PACs to finance a societal replacement. How can you have a crime bill and not have no bill in America to protect the blacks who built the country? And then the face of those who they claim were attacking Asians were black people. Oh, look at this, Elder Lawyer. Joe Biden has an agenda. Hold up. Let me get more on this. More on this bill here. More on this bill, if we may. Let's talk about Kamala Harris. Here. Harris noted the work to combat racism doesn't end with signing of the bill. Here's the truth. Racism exists in America. Xenophobia exists in America. Anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, homophobia, transphobia all exist. Boy, civil rights sure have changed, hasn't it? Civil rights has surely changed. Joe Biden's agenda for the Indian American community. Oh, yeah, the East Indians, not the natives. Oh, yeah. Senator Kamala Harris, whose mother immigrated from India to study and build a life in the United States. Our government will reflect the diversity of the United States, and Indian American voices will be included in shaping policies that impact their communities. Oh man, are they doing what they can for the Hindus? The Sikh, Muslim, the Jain, and others have been subjected to bullying and xenophobic attacks. It seems like they're doing everything to finance these particular people under hate crime bills. But yet they didn't go to the East Indians for Joe Biden's vote. That's a small constituency. They went to us. But there's a lot of bills for them, right? More. Congresswoman Grace Meng. Oh, here we go. Meng secure millions to help implement her Hate Crimes Act, recently signed into law by President Biden. I'm going to go straight to it here, so I don't have to read through all of this nonsense. I'm just going to type in million and see how many times this come up. What that say? Because you know they usually try to hide this so that our people can't see it. Let me blow this up. Community-based organizations are the heartbeat of our communities, said Congresswoman Meng. Yeah, since the beginning of the pandemic, here we go. They have been on the front lines standing against the rise in bigotry. Right? So it seems like something comes from China to affect us, only for these people to get grants and programs to be protected. Our people cannot get reparations or anything for our particular group, the foundational people who are here and built America. But they can come over and get a $30 million grant program while our people are roaming the streets with no homes, while they're threatening to put our people out of Section 8 and homes and cut off subsidies and programs. But they can get $30 million in a program right after Biden was voted in. At the same time, they tell Ice Cube that they'll talk to him after the election. Ice Cube, brother, they're talking to you right now. They're talking to you. They're doing exactly what you said they was going to do. That's right. Oh, yeah. Meng secures millions to help implement her. So if we get hate perpetrated on us, folks, that only comes with another a taser or a bully or a billy club or bullet. Money don't come behind hate against us. Okay? But when they claim, quote unquote, 2 or 3 Chinese people got hit randomly on the street, money comes with harassments on Chinese people. Okay? And then they'll come with something simple as a days old for our people, like Elder Lawya. They'll come with, well, we signed a no lynch bill. When was the last time black people were lynched? And how much money came behind that was for our people, not black and brown people? When they say black and brown people, these people come first. The people who are getting incentivized to oppose our communities. There's more. The Biden administration is paying thousands to thousands of victims of anti-gay discrimination. We were discriminated against first. There's more. Statement by President Biden on the sentencing of wrongfully detained. Now, you can't make this up, Elder Lawya. Where's the irony here? From whitehouse.gov. Statement by President Joe Biden on the sentencing of wrongfully detained American Brittany Griner, LGBTQ. Right? So how can this guy say anything about the wrongful detainment of a person in Russia when the 1994 crime bill here in America was responsible for incarcerating almost a whole generation of our people, of men, targeting black men in the community? But yet he's going to take the moral high ground and say, I'm going to stand, America is not going to stand for the wrongful detainment. When it says here, things have changed. Can Biden overcome the racist legacy of the crime bill he backed? What crime bill? The 1994 crime bill paved the way to mass incarceration of black Americans. Biden says his support was a mistake. Mass incarceration. But he'll have us believe now, because he think our people are dumb, that he cares about who? Brittany Griner? Now let me make it clear. I don't believe she should be incarcerated, but I don't believe she should become the poster child of Biden saving black people either. Because when she come back, she's going to come back as a lesbian hero for the LGBT community while our people are suffering. Mm-hmm. Now we have to ask, are they black first, or is there sexual persuasion? Does that come first? So y'all have to be careful when they pull out these political symbolic gestures, when that they will try to roll out around midterm elections as if that's a champion for black people once she's released right on time for the elections. I have more, Elder Lawya, because didn't I say I was going to go into some history? I said I was going to go into some history, right? Let's go into some history, Elder Lawya. Let's get Joel the 3rd chapter. Let's get Joel the 3rd chapter. I said, this is Academy Week, Elder Lawya. We're going to go in tonight on all of this. The Chinese and the East Indian Babylonian connection tonight. Elder Lawya.
Yes, sir.
Let's go into the book of Joel real quick.
All right. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, starting at verse number 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem.
When I shall begin to bring again the captivity of my people. When I begin to wake these people up and have them realize they're not Gentiles, they're not black, they're not Hispanic, they're not Mexican, they're not Colombian. When I begin to wake my people up and let them know they aren't Africans, that they are the children of Israel. Okay? When I begin to say, listen, you're not Boricua, Taino, Puerto Rican, you're not Dominican, you're not Haitian, you're not black Americans, you aren't African Americans. The Most High gave no promise to African Americans. When I began to do what? Bring again the captivity of my people. When I began to awaken the sleeping lion Judah, the children of Israel. Read.
I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
I will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, the Middle East. The Middle East, where the last war will be waged. The valley of Jehoshaphat. Come on, Elder Lawya.
And will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel.
I'm going to show you how he's going to plead. He's not going to say, please stop harming our people. Judgment is coming on those nations. See, China had to show her face. The East Indians, who are Hamites, had to show their face. They've been nickel and diming us the whole time, coming in, siphoning the money out of our communities, only to do what? To send the money back to educate their children who would one day become our doctors and lawyers and all that, to leapfrog us with the final solution they're using now against us. Folks, the final solution, mental health, sicknesses. See? Now they become the professionals who have leapfrogged us. And guess what, folks? I don't trust any of them people who have destroyed us since they began to come over and get titles from Esau. Esau know that everyone looking at him now, white supremacy, and you got Israelites on the street. Even when I came up in the early 90s, white man devil, even though I don't even deal with that stuff because it's about who can repent and come back on the right side to fight against the devil who's working for the devil. So the white man is saying, you can't blame me no more. The black and brown people got their foot on your neck. I'm just pulling the strings. Okay, so when you hear that word black and brown, that's code for Esau with his hand up their backside controlling them. Okay, so when you hear black and brown people, it's not talking about you. These are the people, they came to finish the job they couldn't. See? Read.
I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they scattered among the nations and parted my land.
Hold up. They scattered us amongst the nations and parted our land. Now, why are the Asians and others in connection with Babylon, Esau at the helm to keep us oppressed? Folks, our people are dropping like flies, and it's not any coincidence at all. You're disproportionately sick. See? So we have to realize we have to really have some good health care for you. You know what I mean? Put in place for your particular neighborhoods because, you know, you're disproportionately health care for all. Obama. We have to make sure you get some health care. See? Hold that real quick, Elder Lawya, because he says they parted their lands and began to come after us, right? They began to do certain things. Once our people went into captivity, all nations aligned themselves. So the Most High have them in the Middle East prepped for a judgment. They thought they were getting away, coming in our neighborhoods, setting up stores, siphoning the money out of the community, never helping the people in the community, only to embolden their own children socially against us, who would one day come over the borders and become politicians, senators, doctors, lawyers. Doctors. See? You have to understand how politics work, folks. They know that we would no longer support a party that's been destroying us. So now before the next election, they're looking to change the constituency. They're looking to change our people from being the predominant decider on elections. See? So this is the race right now, folks. Y'all better wake up. I'm showing you how politics and prophecy intertwine. How you can't understand one without the other. Crime bill, hate bill, come with money for all the people outside of those who really need it, our people. And it's strategic. They're purposely doing this to us, folks. So now God is going to bring a judgment because what? Our people are naive. Our people are trusting. Our people don't believe that these people can be so maniacal to plan our total destruction and even and oh damn euthanization darn there. Read on.
Yes, sir. Joel chapter 3, verse number 3.
Come on.
And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot.
They have given a boy. Listen, for wine. They have given a boy for a harlot. That's talking about turning a little boy out. See what they try to do in schools today? The Most High is angry with this. And they've given a daughter for wine. This is why when girls come out of school, they made it easy for them to get OnlyFans so they can turn them to harlots coming straight out of high school, making our young daughters anonymously, folks, harlots. America had become one big brothel, one big harlot house, garden tool house. See? They did that on purpose, folks. I mean, what young girl coming out of school would choose college over making 100,000 within a year? It start off with selling feet pics. See? Selling feet pics. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm just having conversation. Ain't nothing. Just boyfriend, girlfriend. It's not really anything. But the more you show, the more you get. And eventually, you're sucked all the way in to prawn. Unscramble the words. That's how it is. One big harlot house. And no soon as Kamala was voted in, she said she want to make it legal for streetwalkers. See, that's how they're going to help our people. See, if they're willing to sell themselves for harlots and become a part of the alphabet. Finish reading it, Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink.
Come on.
Yea.
Hold up. Y'all doing a great job, brothers and sisters. I'm looking at a lot of people viewing, but I need y'all to hit that like button for me, please. Just real quick. If we can get 100 likes real quick so we can drive the traffic here, please. All right. Our channel is under a serious shadow ban. Right now, usually we have twice the amount of people that's in here now. They're trying to put us way in the dark. And the only way others will know we are broadcasting, the only way they'll know if you hit the like button so that the algorithm can change, please. Hit the like button for me, please. All right. Go ahead, Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir. Verse 4. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon?
What have you to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon? It's talking about Esau in the Middle East. The Gentiles who have taken our land. What have you got to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon? Edom, who have taken over this land. What do you have to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon? Read.
And all the coast of Palestine. Will you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me...
Hold up, and all the what, Elder Lawyer?
And all the coast of Palestine.
And all the coast of Palestine. See that right here, folks? And all the coast of Palestine. Brothers and sisters, we were in Jerusalem. This is Judah right here. We lived here. And we sought to escape to go into Palestine over here We looked to escape, brothers and sisters, and they cut off the border so that we couldn't escape while Esau massacred us in 70 AD. So the Most High is bringing a judgment to these people too, over here in Palestine, speaking predominantly of, that's right, the Palestinians. The Palestinians. The Most High say there's a judgment on you too. Okay, we're not going to say free Palestine. We're going to say payback. We're going to emphasize you're under payback. You've been double crossed by Esau. He only used you to come against us, to block us off. Okay, and these areas too, Moab and Ammon. So, folks, I'm going to tell you this right now. When it says, what do you have to do with me, the people of Palestine? This land is being bombed and being taken. But that's not getting publicized in America. I'm getting news from outside. They're not talking about this on CNN and all that. Right now, they're being taken over, overran right now, and according to a war we're reading in the Bible right now. Joel, the third chapter. This is how the Most High freed the children of Israel, by first allowing the enemies to fight against themselves. Come on, Elder Lawya.
Yes, sir. Will ye render me a recompense? And if you recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head.
Come on.
Because you have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly and pleasant things.
You took the silver and gold out of the temple in 70 AD. And that same silver and gold that was in our temple has built and paved the roads of the Vatican. That's right, folks. When you see the golden chalice held by the Pope, that gold came straight out of the temple of Jerusalem that fell. Our temple in 70 AD is how they built the modern day Vatican. Vatican, that's right. When you break down Vatican, that's the serpent's house. The serpent's house, the Vatican. Read on.
Verse 6. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians.
Have they sold unto who?
Unto the Grecians.
They sold us unto the Grecians. It's our people that was sold to the other nations, folks. It was prophesied that we would be sold. So once we fell, the Gentiles began to celebrate and send gifts to one another to set up an economy that would redline our people, that would box us out. That's right. From being able to financially grandize ourselves politically and otherwise against our enemies. Once our people fell, God told us in the book of Revelation that the Gentiles begin to send gifts to one another. That's trade. Or what you have. Oh, you have frankincense, myrrh, anise. Oh, what you have, silk. Oh, what you have, grain. Let's all trade on a market and celebrate all the goodies and the spoils we have now with the children of Israel on the bottom as servants. We'll have them dig the mines. We'll have them pave the roads. We'll make anything they do criminal. So by default, they must serve and build our empire. And we'll call it a stock market. We'll call it a stock market, but it's really us trading on the backs of the children of God. Let's get it in Revelation, Elder Lawya. Let's get it. Come on. You know, I told you I got some stuff tonight for you. From Japheth, China to Babylon. Let's go. And after y'all see this tonight, brothers and sisters, make sure you share this. Brothers and sisters, we're still about 300 likes down. Please help us out. Come on now. Let's go, Elder Lawya. Let's read it.
Yes, sir. Revelation 11, verse number 9.
Come on.
And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves.
Now, what does it mean that the Gentiles and the other nations will see our dead bodies but not put in graves? That means we're living, yet we're dead to our national origin. We're living beings, but have no idea that we're the real kings and queens of the earth. We're walking around like dead men with no identity, identifying ourselves with the names which were placed on us from our slave masters. See? So that's a dead man, because God never named you African American. That's a dead man. Black or Negro. God never named any of us that. That's a dead man. So we're living, but yet dead. If you have no name, no prophetic name, you are without purpose. There's no legacy to uphold. See? If you don't have a name, it's impossible to have a name without legacy, or legacy without name. So if they take the name away from you, you are a dead man. So the nations seen our dead bodies walking on the earth for 3.5 years, which breaks down to a time, and a dividing of times. That time period is from the time of our fall in Jerusalem to when Christ will return to save us out of the last, that's right, desolation. See? So we're walking around dead. We think because we have an education, we're smart, we this, that, the other, that we're in the know. Well, if you don't have an origin, an identity, there's no legacy to defend. That's a dead man. This is why every other nation take pride in saying, other people, they take pride in claiming that they're from Jerusalem. See? I'm the chosen people. See? They take pride. Why? Legacy is attached to it. But you are a dead man if you're not staking claim to it. See? And you notice these people out there that are in the Middle East are not claiming Africa at all. They could care less about Africa. Okay? They care less about it because there's no promise in the Bible for Africans. So they'll come up with some straight botched and put together archaeology so that our people can say the first bones in Africa, and then they'll come a few years later and say, well, I'm sorry, we found some older bones than that in Europe. So they let us run with, we the first black, without a name. You are a dead man. One thing about science, they can always switch it up. So they'll let you run with the fake information about the first bones being in Africa, so that you can now give their false history in archaeology, what? Credibility. Oh yeah, the first bones. And then a white man gonna come a few years later and say, and black people, Egyptologists and all of them are not saying this. They came a few years later and say, yeah, we found some older bones than that near Asia and where white people was living in Asia Minor. So really the white man came first. So since you ran with the first one, run with this one. We like, we found the first bones in, oh, Europe? Okay. I thought a few years ago you said that we found them in Africa. A dead man. Read.
Verse 10. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them, and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth.
So these two prophets, Israel and Judah, tormented them while we were on the earth. We gave them Hades before our fall. So once we fell, all the nations began to send gifts to one another and celebrate the fall of the children of God. And that's who we are, folks. And now I'm going to show you why there's pacts, bills, and all that given to Asian and East Indians. I'm about to show you right now. But before I do that, you have some Israelite groups out there teaching that Chinese people are Moab and Japanese people are Japheth. So I know we're not in the Hebrew and Bible Academy today, but let's first, Elder Lawya, give a little geography lesson. Okay? A geography lesson. What we have here is a map. Okay? Now, this map is in the east, on the eastern side of the Mediterranean. It's in the east, okay, on the side of the Mediterranean Sea. As you can see here, let's make it clear, Ammon is right here, right next to Israel. Right next to Israel is Ammon. Right next to the kingdom of Judah, through the water here, is Moab. There's no history of Chinese people being from the Middle East next to Judah. Okay? There's no history of these people being Chinese people. You have some erroneous doctrine out there that are teaching because Moab and Ammon came out of incest, their children got slant eyes, which are Down syndrome, and by default, that's a mark of Chinese and Japanese. Let me tell you, anybody break down the Bible on some nonsense like that are just showing others how unlearned they are. Because by breaking that down, if you believe Moab and Ammon are Chinese and Japanese, you will err in future prophecy. You will err. Because when it talks about Moab and Ammon, you're going to think it's an entirely different race. And then you're letting the Chinese off because the Chinese are Japheth in the Bible. You're not pointing to how they're going to come out to the forefront with Esau in the very end if you claim that Moab and Ammon are Chinese and Japanese. How do we know this? Here is an ancient map of Canaan. The land of Canaan was turned to Israel. Jordan is here, bordering the land of Israel. And it's going to be, when the war comes, all of this is going to be bombed to hell and back. And as you can see, Ammon borders Jerusalem. Moab borders Jerusalem. See that? There's no history of Chinese people being here, going to the other side of the Mediterranean, going into China. This is the Middle East right here, folks. So now we had a little geography lesson, common sense. Only thing they had to do was look at a map and stop saying, well, because, I mean, you talking about some jailhouse doctrine. And I don't mean to be facetious. Oh, yeah, those slanted eyes came from them incesting with their father. I can see a guy in jail coming up with that right now. They had incest with their father and got Chinese eyes and slant eyes. Hey, look like Moab and Ammon to me. That's geography, common sense. Japheth is on the other side of the Mediterranean, not here. Next. Y'all getting Hebrew and Bible Academy type stuff tonight. This is from the History of Arabs and Sudan, page 22, by H.A. McMichael, dealing with the genealogies of the sons of who? The sons of Noah. It's highlighted right here for you. Now, The other nations understand this, folks. Guess what, folks? This information is actually amongst the Gentiles' annals. Elder Lawya, I need you to read verse 11 from page 22 of History of the Arabs and the Sudan on page 22 by H.A. McMichael. Can you read that for me? And I'm going to use the pointer here. We're in school right now. I'm going to use the pointer to prove who the Japhetic people are. We're going to school. A mini Hebrew and Bible Academy, since we're in Hebrew and Bible Academy week, right? A little mini Hebrew and Bible Academy for you. Elder Lawya, I need you to read that for me. That's the 13th verse. No, that's the 53rd verse, right?
Yes, sir.
The 53rd verse. The 53rd verse. And that comes from, write it down. Here's the records, folks. We've done the research for you. All you Israelite groups and others are saying that Moab and Ammon are Chinese and Japanese. Stop it. You're messing up prophecy by doing that. You got people looking the wrong way while the real Japhetic people are Asians, are attacking us according to prophecy right now. Now, if you go out on the street, you can now give them prophecies concerning God coming against them in the book of Esdras for them making themselves, that's right, like the Asians. Like Babylon. And we're going to show you how they're Japheth. Elder Lawya, read that for me now.
Yes, sir. It says here, and Ham begot Elhind and Elsind and the Nuba and the Quran and all the blacks.
Come on.
And Japheth begot the Turks and the Chinese.
Hold up. And Japheth, which is Japheth, begot who?
Begot the Turks and the Chinese.
Begot the Turks and the Chinese. Now, after the wars of Esau against the old Turks, the Turks now are Edomites. But the original Turks in the land, and that's right, they were Asian at first before Alexander's generals began the war in these particular territories. Japheth, which is Japheth right here, Japheth begot who?
Begot the Turks and the Chinese.
Begot the Turks and the Chinese. What I'm going to do for y'all right now, because in the Hebrew and Bible Academy, we come with the sources, okay? I'm going to type it in here right now. History, and we got more history books, but get in the academy and you'll get them. History of Arabs, let me get it, of Arabs by H.A. McMichael. Right there for you. History of the Arabs by H.A. McMichael. And folks, these records they got were Arabic records. That even the Arabs know that the Chinese people are from the sons of Japheth. Now, you can't hide from the Most High. You cannot hide from the Most High, folks. They tried to. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We got y'all. This is why they're shining these crime bills to try to protect Asia, because Asia is now coming in the forefront. They've always been attacking us along with Esau quietly. And Esau is saying he's not taking all of the PR shots, the negative PR shots anymore, when what he's been doing against us has benefited all his accomplices. So China and Asia said, we'll finish the work for you. That's why Biden came in with Kamala, whose mother is East Indian, and duped us into believing it was something about a black woman. When all the black women who are naturally born foundational here, they couldn't find one black woman to be vice president if that's the symbolism they wanted. They couldn't find a black woman who's educated, a foundational black woman who came from chattel slavery. Why would they have to find an East Indian connection? Because that's who they were looking to fund against our people. I have more, Elder Lawyer. Here it is. Hey, you know, that's why it took us so long to come on. I'm getting these stuff together. Oh, yeah, folks. Oh, yeah. We're not messing around tonight. We're going to show you the Babylon connection from Japheth, China to Babylon. The Holy Bible from the ancient Eastern text. I have it right here. I have it right here. Elder Lawyer, I need you to get Ezekiel 38. Ezekiel 38 for me, Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir. This is Ezekiel chapter 38, verse number 1.
Come on.
The word of the Lord came unto me, saying,
Now, hold up,
Son of man.
Elder Lawyer, before you go there, I'm sorry. I know there's a delay here because I'm trying to cram it all in. Be patient with me, y'all. I'm going to pull up Eastward here because I need them to see this with their own eyes. Let's pull up Eastward. Boom. Right there for you. Let's pull up Eastward. Let's go to Ezekiel 38. Let's read it, Elder Lawyer.
Ezekiel 38, verse number 1. The word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say...
And prophesy against him, and say... Now, it says here, folks, the prince of Meshach and Tubal. When you go into Genesis, when you go into the 10th chapter and the chapters that before Babylon, these children are the children of Japheth. Of Japheth, not Moab, not Ammon. Read.
It says, Prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws.
Hold up, Elder Lawyer. Matter of fact, hold on, Lawyer. This is what I'm going to do here. I got to bring you in over here, too. This is what I'm going to do. Elder Lawyer, I'm going to have you snap up in here with me. Hold on. You're going to come up. Hold on. Window. I'm going to bring you in here with me. Oh, yeah. There you go. There you go. Hold on. I got you. There you go. I'm getting good at this stuff, I think. All right. Elder Lawyer, read that last piece again. The fourth verse. Read it.
Yes, sir. Verse number 4. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws.
I will do what?
I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws.
I will put hooks in your jaws, which means you think you're going one way, China. You think you're going to benefit quietly? I'm going to put hook in your jaws and bring you into the valley of Jehoshaphat. You're going to show your face. You're coming into this war. It's not just Esau, you're coming too. And that's why Chinese people are now in Africa. That's why the borders are opening and they're in their communities, because for so long they was hitting and hiding their hands while the white man was taking all the blame. So the Most High did what? He put hook in his jaws. This don't have nothing to do with Russia. Russians are Edomites. The Christian right would tell you this is Russia. Russia is in league with America. Okay? Under the 10 horns. Controlled by the 10 horns. It's just like Democrat and Republican. It says, I will turn thee back and put hooks into your jaws. Read.
And I will bring thee forth in all thy army, horses and horsemen, and all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords.
So they're coming in the war with the Persians, Ethiopians, Libyans. This is now the Asians coming to the Middle East. So they didn't start in the Middle East. The Most High put hooks in their jaws to bring them into the final war that's impending now. Y'all don't hear me. This is groundbreaking tonight. This is groundbreaking. Why? Let me show y'all something, folks. Let me show you something. Let me show it to you. Let me put it back here. Let me show you something now. Here is the same book I'm holding before you, Ezekiel 38. Ezekiel 38, I took a picture of it out of this particular book before you. The Holy Bible, the Eastern text, where it goes into the words that were there initially in the ancient translations. Same chapter and verse, Elder Lawya. I'm going to read this one. Let me do the honors. Let me do the honors here. Ezekiel 38, and you can parallel this with your King James Version. And the word of the Lord came to me, saying, O son of man, set your face against China and against the land of the Mongolia, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, which are children of Japheth, and prophesy against him. So if you're saying that Moab and Ammon are the Chinese and Japanese, you're not following God and prophesying against the people who have been attacking us quietly, who coincidentally a disease come from where they live only to land on black people in America. And this is why they needed a hate crime bill and all that to protect them politically, because that was the agreement. That was the agreement for them coming from behind the shadows. That if they came from behind the shadows and the white man didn't take the hit, they would need protection. See? Thus saith the Lord God, behold, I am against you, O China, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. I will gather your people together and put a bridle in your jaws, and I will bring you forth out of your country. That means they originally weren't in the Middle East. They were on the other side of the Mediterranean as the children of Japheth. Bring you forth out of your country, so they can't be Moab and Ammon. Both you and your army, horsemen, and all of them clothed in armor, they're in the Middle East to wage war against the children of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi in Africa right now. But God has a plan. The Most High is going to plague them. They're going to lose. Now there's more. Elder Lawya, there's more. You know I have more. Check this out. The East Indians are coming in droves also. And here it is. Here's some archaeology. The East Indians, folks. Inscription. Now, you cannot tell me that the Bible isn't true. This is archaeology that was found on the East Indians. What is it? How does the East Indians have a Babylonian connection? Look at this here. Building Babylon. Babylon is written of in the scriptures, Genesis 11. Building Babylon. This inscribed stone, let me blow it up for you. This inscribed stone was found at the ruin of Babylon and described the religious devotion and civic achievement of King Nebuchadnezzar II, the long inscription records that, as well as building the processional way and the Ishtar gate, a stargate, folks. That's right, portal. I'm going to be talking about this more in the academy. Now, the king decorated chapels and restored equipment for the New Year's celebrations, such as the processional boat for the god Marduk. The god Marduk. He also rebuilt temples and improved city walls. And it was found before 1803 CE and was given to the Museum of the East India House. Oh, y'all didn't know East Indians were Babylonians, huh? That's why they have them coming in droves. These Satan worshipers are coming into the country, aligning themselves as social soldiers against our people in the communities, along with the others. They're Babylonians, folks. East India House, from Babylon, southern Mesopotamia, Iraq, where the original Babylon was, Neo-Babylonian period, reign of King Nebuchadnezzar II, 605 to 652, archaeology to prove that the Bible's account of Nebuchadnezzar and the Babylonians are true right now in their museum. How can they claim the Bible's tampered with and the Bible isn't true? It's through the Bible I've caught the East Indians too red-handed. The ancient Babylonian deity Marduk, which is west, that's right, East Indians, folks, was associated with the planet Mars and was the origin of the legends and lore of that planet, as well as many later gods and heroes. Marduk originated as the apotheosis of the biblical Nimrod, who built the tower. East Indians are Cushites connected to Nimrod, who was against God in the beginning, folks. In the beginning. So in order for Esau to suppress our people, he had to go back to the original Satan worshipers in East India who opposed our God in the past. Hence the reason Asians and East Indians are incentivized and have leapfrogged us as the black and brown people. They're being incentivized to come against our people. And guess what? White people aren't giving up their space. So our people must be moved out of the way somehow to make room for these people. This is a social war, a social takedown of our people using the systems in place. And it started right after the election. Folks, you can't find, let me tell you, you cannot find information like this anywhere, folks. We've just connected Chinese people, Japhetic people, Chinese people, and we've connected them all to Babylon tonight. Why? Elder Lawya, let's get, come on, let's go. Elder Lawya, let's get Romans 11 real quick. And I have more history. Folks, get in the academy. HistoryTimes.org. We've just showed you why, that's right. We've just shown you why Joe Biden signed and gave money to Asians, over 30 million with a Asian crime bill. Why do they need protection when our people are suffering in America? There's no protection for us. They didn't build this country, but they're going to come in and get a crime bill, a hate bill. How can they do this? Right in front of us when blacks voted him in. They're being incentivized as what? As a social army against us. They're getting grants and all that while our people are hitting the streets. They're being incentivized. The Most High's, look at this. Indian American community, not North American Indians, East Indians. And this is from what? Biden Harris, the White House. The Most High, I'm going to tell you right now, the Most High is against what's going on here, folks. Our people better wake up and stop supporting these people. These people are being incentivized as social soldiers to tear us apart within the communities, using the systems and programs that are being incentivized by Europe into America. This is a frontal attack on our people, folks. Ming secures millions to help implement her hate crimes. Who's Ming? There she go right there. How much did she get? Millions. How much she get? $30 million grant Joe Biden gave to them during the COVID thing, during COVID-19. Nothing for our people. Zero. I'm going to tell you right now, these people are incentivizing, this is an army being sent against our people without military gear on. You have to understand how war has always been waged on every front, and the best front is to be able to destroy and kill a people without shooting one bullet. You got to know who's working together. These people are being incentivized. Elder Lawya, let's read Romans 11 and then we'll open it up with the calls.
Yes, sir. Romans 11, verse number 1.
Come on.
I say then, have God cast away his people? God forbid.
So here's a question. Did God cast away his people and get a new people? No. No, they lied in the Christian church and told you that God gave us a chance in the Old Testament, but because we rejected him, now the Gentiles are his people. That's a straight lie. Even Paul says, have God cast away his people? God forbid. No, we're still here. We're just walking around like the valley of the dry deads, like the valley of the dry bones with our heads stuck in the sand. And even if our people will not accept that we are in fact the true children of Israel, the Gentiles don't care. They're going to destroy you, and they're going to destroy you because you are an Israelite, to stop you from ever finding out because you are an Israelite. So you can stick your head in the stand and start to fight against it. Oh man, no, I'm a Gentile. Oh, it doesn't matter. You can think that if you want. Our people would be better off embracing who they are to understand the prophetic war that has always been waged against us. Because if you know you're an Israelite, you can actually go into the Bible and see the enemies who would politically construct things or I would say outright systems against your children. You would understand the enemy who have aligned themselves together to attack us. But if you don't know you're Israel, you don't know you're under attack. See? Now I can go to David records and show who David prayed against when the nations were aligning themselves against him. And the Most High said, "Look, stand him up and allow his armies to stand, with straight valor against the Gentile armies." And then the Bible begins to name them one by one. But now they're doing it different. They're not coming with battle gear on. They're coming, that's right, with professional white coats on now. See? They're coming with the white coats on now. They're not coming in battle gear. Okay? Straight up. Read on. Come on, Elder Lawya. Read that again. Have God cast away his people? Read.
God forbid.
Come on.
For I am also an Israelite, of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin.
Now, for all you New Testament so-called Christians out there, Paul was an Israelite. Israelite isn't a religion. Israelites are a people. We are Israelites according to bloodline. And we don't need no stinking DNA test to prove that. Okay? We were the Israelites before there was any such thing as DNA tests. Read it again.
I say then, have God cast away his people? God forbid. For I am also an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin.
Read.
God hath not cast away his people which he foreknew.
The Most High have not cast away his people which he foreknew in the Old Testament. We were existing during Paul's time, and we're still here. Okay? We're not Israelites according to some ideology. Being an Israelite doesn't mean you hate other people. That's stupid in of itself for people to think that. There's hateful and evil people throughout all races of people. Okay? Okay? All Germans aren't Nazis. So when you hear Israelites, don't buy that negative connotation that's attached to it. Israelites are a people. Christ was an Israelite, a good man. So stop trying to buy the mainstream media's evil narrative that they're trying to shape Israelites as another hate group compared to some low-level KKK group. That's downplaying who you are as a people. Okay? Don't try to you have to deal with Israelites politically on the level I'm showing you right here. To understand things from a geopolitical standpoint. Not on some, I hate the white man hate me. I got a white sheet on. I'm a black Israelite. No, listen, that's straight clown play. That's the level they would like you to accept it an Israelite. We need to accept an Israelite according to Christ's level. Paul says, listen, Israelites didn't go anywhere. We've always been here. We're the Israelites who taught you Gentiles who didn't know any better. All of the disciples were black men. The first churches were black people until the Romans came and destroyed us in 70 AD. So how can you come and replace black people and then say, well, yeah, the Israelites are done away with, except us? What type of God would do away with his own people? Would have no mercy on his own people? To only give mercy to the Gentiles who have always defied him. How does that even look? How can he have mercy on Gentile people, non-Israelites who don't accept him and are heathens and doing wicked and evil things, and not have mercy to accept his own people? It doesn't even make common sense. Romans 11:11 for me real quick.
Yes, sir. Verse number 11.
Read it.
I say then, have God stumbled that they have they stumbled that they should fall?
So
God forbid.
Paul is talking about Israelites here. Have Israelites stumbled that they should fall? God forbid. Israelites weren't made to stay down under the Gentiles forever. And the Gentiles always knew this, folks. They always known that they couldn't keep the lie going forever. They just needed a system in place to oppose us once the awakening would begin. So they didn't call it the awakening of Israelites according to the Bible because the Gentiles speak in code. Okay? They called it, and we didn't even recognize it. They called it the age of Aquarius. They didn't call it an awakening according to the Bible, but it was code amongst the Gentiles when they started talking about the age of Aquarius. It was code to these slaves are waking up. They know they're Israelites now. We must progress our destruction upon them and press upon them and get rid of them before they figure us out, before they turn on us. They're communicating with their God, the God who freed them out of Egypt. We need to align ourselves together and come together under immigration and stomp them out before God gives them power on earth to put us underfoot. That's what we're seeing geopolitically. They will never give us anything because they know that what? Money is a defense. How would they fund their enemies to oppose them? So I'm not putting up those things about Biden supporting China and all that to say, please give us some crumbs, if anything, reparations. I'm just using that for an example, folks, to show you how they never thought to help us. Because why would you incentivize the people you're trying to destroy? And it's time for our people to get out of this politics stuff and get behind our God and not behind these elected officials who are planning to utterly destroy us. Read it again, Elder Lawya. Come on.
Yes, sir. Romans 11, verse number 11. I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? God forbid.
No.
But rather through their fall, salvation has come unto the Gentiles to provoke them to jealousy.
Because of our fall, salvation came to the Gentiles to provoke our people to jealousy. Now, how did salvation come to the Gentiles? Christian churches are breaking this down incorrectly. They're claiming that because we fell, the Gentiles are accepted as God's people equally. Paul never said that. In the next verse, it tells us what the Gentiles received, what they received, which would make Israelites who are suffering in captivity jealous. In the next verse, it tells us what that salvation was for those Gentiles. Read it.
Verse 12. Now with the fall of them be the riches of the world.
Be the what?
Be the riches of the world.
The whole world of Gentiles became rich through Israelites falling. Salvation is riches and power. Through our fall, they got rich. How do you get rich? Now that the Israelites has fallen, we can build our empires on free labor. We can build our alliances and build our stock market on free labor. Folks, people have been using this Bible all wrong. You can quantify everything geopolitically if you understand the Bible literally. Salvation don't mean they're saved equally. It means that they got an opportunity for rulership by becoming rich. How will they become rich? Because we have the Spirit of God, the former of all things. They would use us to build their empires. We would build their culture. We would make music. We would build their roads. See? And we would create a culture of entertainment. Folks, if America didn't have the children of Israel in captivity, it would be Russia. We're the flavor for this world. We're the salt of this world. Okay? It's through our fall that they got popular. They look at what we do and steal it. And financially grandize themselves on us just like Egypt did. Egypt wasn't nothing before we got there. Through our fall, read.
It says, through their fall, salvation is come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy.
Read.
Now if the fall of them be the riches of the world,
if the
and the
fall
diminishing
of them be the riches of the world, and as our people lose and diminish, read.
And the diminishing of them the riches of the Gentiles.
So the Gentiles got rich. So why would they tell us we're Israelites, folks? Why would they give us anything? See? They measure their glory, power, and riches by how poor we are. They measure their greatness by how poor we are. So why would they give us anything? It was our fall that made them rich. So it's in their financial interest to keep us from ever understanding that we are gold, that we are the children of God, that we are rich. We are the greatest people that have ever graced this earth. And they have incentivized that. And anything they're going to incentivize would be what? Anti-Bible law activity. The only time they'll give us any money if it's our people showing out breaking God's law. They would incentivize sexual perversions And they'll have you run around in the parade and all that and celebrate that and give you money if you break the laws of God. Swan sandwiches, pagan holidays. The only time they're going to celebrate our people if we're sinning, sagging pants, operating as city girls. That's the only time they're going to give us anything if we're showing a public mockery against the heavens. That's the only time. Because by us continuing to sin and become harlots and have no shame, the Gentiles rule and become rich by default. So that we can have dumb children without legacy to be used as servants for Gentiles. See? Come on, Elder Lawya, let's read on.
Yes, sir. Verse 12. Now, if the fall of them be the riches of the world, and the diminishing of them the riches of the Gentiles, how much more their fullness?
How much more their fullness? How much more will we receive if the Most High allowed all the Gentiles to get rich from our fall? How much more will we receive if we receive the truth of Christ? And with that, the glory that comes from being from the lost tribes of Israel. See, this is what Paul was teaching our people. He had a ministry for the Gentiles, and he had a ministry for us who were about to fall also. He says, listen, the Gentiles got rich so that the Most High can provoke us to jealousy. So we can look at how they're actually taking the full advantage of the earth on our dime. See, we would look at them and say, man, I want to be like them. I want to live where they live. And the Most High is looking at you saying, listen to me. It was yours from the beginning. Do you want it back? Serve me and I'll come against them. That's what our God is saying. Stand with me because you can't beat these Gentiles alone. Stand with me and I'll send the heavens to utterly eradicate them in the valley of Jehoshaphat. If you want it back, the only way you can get it back is how we got it back in the past. Stand with the God who destroyed Pharaoh. That's what Paul was teaching. See? Read on, Elder Lawya, and then we're going to go to the calls.
Yes, sir. Verse 13. For I speak to you Gentiles, and as much as I am the apostle of the Gentiles, I magnify mine office.
Now Paul is speaking to you Gentiles, knowing that the Israelites are going to fall, and you people were going to receive all of our records and our riches, while our people walk this earth like dead men with no identity. So Paul knew that our people were going into captivity. Even Christ said it. So now Paul is warning you Gentiles now. Read.
14. If by any means I may provoke to emulation them which are my flesh, and might save some of them.
So now he's teaching Gentiles not that the Gentiles can solely be saved. He's teaching the Gentiles to provoke his own people to emulation so they can be saved. He was teaching the Gentiles to save Israelites. Why aren't the Christians teaching that? See? Because what? It contradicts their straight false replacement doctrine. Straight out. Read on.
For if the casting away of them be the reconciling of the world, what shall the receiving of them be but life from the dead?
It's going to be like what? Like life from the dead. Exactly. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street 3.5 days and will not suffer their body to be put in graves. It's going to, when our people find out we're Israelites, it's going to be, folks, like the dead come into life. The valley of the dry bones come into life. And this is the time that the Satanists and the evildoers have been politically setting the earth for. They knew one time at the very end that we would awaken and understand that these people have always opposed our forefathers. So they had to have a system in place to destroy us once we began to understand in numbers who we truly are. Read on.
For if the casting away of them be the reconciling of the world, what shall the receiving of them be but life from the dead?
Come on.
For if the first fruit be holy, the lump also is holy.
Come on.
And if the root be holy, so are the branches.
If the root be holy, so are the branches. There was 12 branches that came out of the 12 tribes of Israel, and we're from those branches. You Gentiles was grafted in like a wild tree. You're not from the root. So you can stake claim and say you're a Christian and I believe in Christ, but you're still not the root of the people. You can claim that you converted into something, but that doesn't mean you're the people. And if you're going to be converted into our root, you should appreciate the root, the tree. Because without the tree, your people wouldn't have received anything. So you wasn't supposed to receive it to forget us and become ungrateful. Our Christ blessed you because of our fall. You wasn't supposed to now years later to say his people don't matter. We're Christians now and it doesn't matter. You began to boast against the natural branches, and Paul warned you not to do that. You're the only empire who had the children of Israel in captivity and didn't acknowledge who they were. The only empire. Read on.
And if some of the branches be broken off, and thou being a wild olive tree were grafted in among them, and with them partakers of the root and fatness of the olive tree, boast not against the branches.
So he said, listen, Paul told the Gentiles, I'll graft you in. You're going to have an opportunity knowing that the Israelites are going to fall. But you better not boast against the natural people of Israel. You better not come up and say the people left Jerusalem black and came back white. You better not say that. That's boasting. You better not have a white man as an actor parting the Red Sea when you know that was a black man. That's boasting. You better not say, and this is the boast of all boasts, that the Israelites are done away with and the Gentiles have replaced the Israelites as God's people. That's the boast that Paul is talking about above them all. Let's hear it.
Boast not against the branches, but if thou boast, thou bearest not the root, but the root thee. Because
if you boast, you're not boasting of your history. Christ didn't belong to your genealogy. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Noah, Shem, the prophets, they're not related to you. So you're not going to be boasting about your genealogy. You're boasting our genealogy. And that's why Paul said, what? Read it again.
Boast not against the branches.
You better not boast. If they boast, come on.
But if thou boast, thou bearest not the root, but the root thee.
Because if you boast, you bear not the root, but the root thee. You're still celebrating their history every time you open the Bible. Every time you accept Christ. Every time you say Christ is your Savior, guess what? Christ could not have been without his people. You're still boasting us. Just remember that. You can't separate him from his family. You can't take him, our family, for yourself and say, well, he's my Savior, that one individual, and forget his people. That's boasting. Read.
Thou wilt say then, the branches were broken off, that I might be grafted in.
Then here's the boast that's being taught in Christianity, that the Israelites were broken off so that the Gentiles can now become God's people. Now, who's teaching that as a main point of exegesis under modern day Christianity? That it doesn't matter. God's people are done away with, and now all Gentiles are accepted. They're teaching the exact thing Paul said don't say. That's a boast. They would say that the branches were broken off, the Israelites went away and went against God, so that we can now replace them as God's people. I don't hear no Christian churches teaching this. That Paul gave do's and don'ts to the Gentiles as Moses gave do's and don'ts to the Israelites. I don't hear them saying this, that there's a punishment on the Gentiles if they boast against the natural branches. And folks, the punishment is now leaving us and coming on them right now for doing the exact opposite of what Paul taught them. Why do you think they don't care if they dismantle the world and destroy the future by teaching all these freakisms? They know there's no future in the ideology they teaching socially. Right now, they know there's no future for their children if they continue to allow this debauchery and perversion to continue. They're just imploding the earth knowing that we got next. When they was in power, they taught traditional values and this, that, and the other. No sooner as when they figured out that Christ didn't look like them, and they figured out that they were bamboozled into believing that they were the people and it was the slaves they've been destroying, then all of a sudden they let all chaos loose on the earth and say, listen, let's see if the Israelites can put this back together. Come on, let's finish reading.
Yes, sir. That would say then, the branches were broken off that I might be grafted in.
Listen, look how selfish that is. That they would get the knowledge that came through the blood, sweat, and tears of our forefathers. The wisdom that came through our book, the Bible. And then claim it was about them the whole time when they were pagans. When they was up in the mountains eating out of their forefathers' skulls. They would show no appreciation. And at the end of the day, all of the riches and power came because of our fall. And now once we fell, they're going to say, well, it was about us the whole time. When the Bible calls you in Genesis 36, the Hori, the Horite, the cave dweller. And the pride of thine heart in the book of Obadiah states that the pride of thine heart have deceived thee that dwelleth in the clefts of the rocks. You're forgetting where you came from. And now when we fall, you get up and try to play us and say that because the fall happened so that you can stand in your glory? No, Paul warned you. Finish reading.
Well, because of unbelief they were broken off, and thou standest by faith.
Because of hold up. Because of unbelief, we were broken off. And the Gentiles don't stand by promise, folks. The Gentiles stand by faith. There was nothing promised to the Gentiles to rule under Christ's kingdom in the Old Testament, neither in the New. They don't stand by promise. They stand by faith. The faith with the knowledge Paul is giving them here. Read.
Be not high-minded, but fear. For if God spared not the natural branches, take heed lest he also spare not thee.
If the Most High can do this to his people, look at the condition of the children of Israel that are suffering in these communities right now. If the Most High can allow this to be done to his own people due to disobedience, through disobedience, how much more will fall on your children? Gentiles. Read.
For if the Most High spared not the natural branches, take heed lest he also spare not thee. Behold therefore the goodness and severity of God on them which fell, severity, but toward thee goodness.
But towards
if
us,
thou continue.
hold up. Severe punishment came on the children of Israel for breaking God's law. And goodness came to you Gentiles. But what? Read it, Elder Lawya.
It says, behold therefore the goodness and severity of God on them which fell, severity, but toward thee goodness, if thou continue in his goodness.
If you continue in the goodness, read.
Otherwise, thou also shalt be cut off.
Otherwise, you also shall be cut off. Now that concludes what I had to bring out, connecting from Japheth, China to Babylon. So when the Most High say Babylon the Great is fallen, folks, we have to understand it's a geopolitical system of all nations aligned against the children of God. And now if you were to go back and follow this lesson, you'll understand why they opened the borders to whom they call black and brown people that has nothing to do with the foundational blacks who were here. They have incentivized the Chinese who are Japheth and the Asians, hold up, not just the Asians, but the Babylonian Hamites who are East Indians to come against us in this country and to replace our people, to rival us. Oh, I'm going to tell you right now, folks, and these people, they deal with straight demons and gods ancient gods from ancient times they're bringing over here to prey on our people in the communities. I'm gonna tell you this, man. We had one sister who outright someone that was having a baby, and it was a baby boy with an East Indian doctor. And they was doing everything. Well, can I do this? Can I do that? And they was like, well, no, just leave this child alone. And this East Indian woman just almost went irate because the family were naturalists and just wanted to say, well, we'll deal with that later. She was irate. She wanted that boy. And then once the baby left, she followed up and called the pediatrician to make sure that there was a follow-up doctor's visit. That's how obsessed she was with making sure this boy got something. And the doctor looked right at the parents and said, they don't do this to white people, right? Am I saying all of them are like that? No. But I'm saying y'all better wake up. Y'all better wake up. Elder Lawya, you want to say anything before I open up the calls? We're not going to be up all night because I have to get prepared for this week. But let me make an announcement before you say something, Elder Lawya. We do have a new Hebrew and Bible Academy. As I mentioned earlier, first week starts this Sunday, August 28th. If you haven't enrolled, you need to be there. Go to historytimes.org. There's news that we must report on that cannot be reported on these platforms. Okay? Stuff that are going on right now outside of America that you need to know. And we're going to be going into that. Shabbat is working right now to put that news together. And you need to be there. We got Hebrew 101 with Elder Lawya, along with what? The news you cannot find anywhere on earth. What we're dealing with right now, Shabbat brought out news articles 10 years ago and others and all that 5 years ago. He was bringing articles stating what would be going on right now to the letter. It seemed so far-fetched when he was bringing it out in the news. We thought that, okay, yeah, I don't know if it's going to happen like that, because he was bringing out news and it was leading to a certain space. And now we're living in it. So the news in of itself is prophetic. And the lessons are like none on earth. You can totally understand this Bible on another level. Get there. We've kept it quite inexpensive. We never went up. It's still the same price for the full 3 months. Go to historytimes.org and enroll. Okay. You cannot quantify or put a price on these lessons. It helps the work and it gives you everything you need to understand the Bible in its proper context. All right. Go to historytimes.org for the Hebrew and Bible Academy. And we have the administration working around the clock, 5 new lessons, a new heaven and a new earth. That's right. The priesthood and mysteries of the Essenes, the fall of Judea, who is the synagogue of Satan. Oh, that's going to be a powerful lesson. and a special in-depth lesson on Daniel and its part in end-time prophecy. You will not want to miss this. I'm saying get in because y'all try to run in at the last moment, and I'll be focusing on studying, and you get upset because you should have did it, and then you still Sunday trying to get in. It's the first week. Some people will wait or didn't hear about it, and we in week 3 or week 4, and then say, oh, I missed it. So I made sure there's a concerted effort first week to let everyone know it starts Sunday. This coming Sunday. Okay? So go to historytimes.org and enroll. Okay? All right, Elder Lawya, historytimes.org and enroll. Would you like to say anything, Elder Lawya, before I open up the lines?
Yes, sir. Just 2 quick things I want to address, because often when we bring out these conversations, those who have been following us and those who have been with the church and kind of know the understanding and the doctrine of who we are, where we come from, and where we're going as a people, you all kind of know the answers to these questions. But many people, when approaching these particular topics of how is it that the nations have been allowed to pretty much use us as a harlot for anything that they see fit. For example, whenever they need a crime bill passed, a camera is put into our communities, documentaries are made, news reports are given day after day reporting the crime taking place in our communities, to the point where now we have become the face of crime. We become the super predator, and thereby bills are passed and laws are passed and put on the books that affect us tremendously. The question is, how has this happened time after time? How is it that when a hate crime bill needs to be passed and money needs to be divvied out to other nations, even though that we have been the victims of hate crimes, but yet when it comes time for other nations to receive funds for quote unquote hate crimes, again, a camera is put conveniently in the community. They'll show a video of what seems to be a black man who, obviously, from watching the footage, you can tell that the person has some type of mental illness or some type of mental issues. And they'll show them going up and just hitting an elderly Asian woman and promoting it as black people in America have a hatred, a newfound hatred for the Asian community. And all of a sudden now that's being used, or is used politically, again, to divvy out money and to pass bills and things of that nature, to help bolster the other nations over the people who helped build the country.
Yeah.
The question is, how do we get to this point? Now, usually when we have this conversation, it's usually a romanticized conversation. We were in Africa, we were in peace, we were, or those who believe that we are here in America, indigenous people. We were just here in peace and harmony and love, and then someone just came over the borders and enslaved us. Well, that's not the reality of what happened. That's romanticizing the reality of what took place. And when you do that, even though it sounds good, it makes us feel good, it gives us pride, what it does is it distorts the history of what took place, which means that we can't now trace ourselves back to a point where we can actually find a solution. Because if you were just perfect and doing everything right and you still were taken down, well, what is the solution for getting back to your perfection? Well, the Bible gives us the true history of what took place. It tells us here in the book of Deuteronomy 32, verse number 7, remember the days of old and consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, he will show thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. So first and foremost, we understand that according to the Bible, it was intended for the nations to be separate within their own nations, within their own communities, with their own financial systems or what have you. It wasn't meant for everyone, and I know that this is contrary to what we've been taught, but it wasn't meant for all nations to dwell within a melting pot and forced to try to accommodate each other's cultures.
Yeah, it's a class of cultures.
It
would be
exactly
that's conflict in of itself. It was meant for everyone to exercise their culture in the land that was allotted to them by God. Great point.
Exactly.
But go on.
Exactly. So what happens when now you get all of these cultures coming together or coming into a land amongst the people who really, even though we have manufactured to some degree a culture in this land that we've been made captives, is still not our culture in the sense that it's not biblical based culture. We are the people of the Bible. We are the Israelites. And again, even though we have manufactured a culture which shows elements of our past with our creativity, our survival skills and things of that nature, those are flashes from the past of who we are. But still, it's not built upon a foundation where we all can say that this is the one thing that we all are. These are the things that we agree to. Here's our customs. Here's our laws. This is what we adhere to. These are the things that we do. These are the things that we don't do. As far as that, we don't have that. So what happens when you get other nations coming into the community or coming into the country that do have some level of culture, that do have commonalities in religion, have commonalities in just general customs of their particular nation? Eventually, those people, along with them being bolstered financially, them being protected legally, what eventually happens is they will overtake and overrun the people who have no culture. Why? Because we're all in this melting pot, which was not meant to be in the first place. Now, how do we get to this point? Jumping down to verse 15. In fact, let me jump here, verse number 12. So the Lord alone did lead him, and there was no strange God with him. So there was a time in which we were with God. We did not have any strange God. We didn't worship the God of Islam. We didn't worship the God of quote unquote Christianity or any other religion that you may see in this earth. We were with the God of Israel that led us out of captivity from the land of Egypt. He made them ride on the high places of the earth, that he may increase in the fields. He made them to suck honey out of the rock and oil out of the flinty rock, butter of kine and of milk and of sheep, with fat of lambs and rams, and of the breed of Bashan, of goats, and of the fat of kidneys, of wheats, and thou didst not prune the blood of the grape. Why is this important? All of the resources that we lack currently in this society, we once had those resources, which were provided to us from our God from on high. We weren't seeking to be repaired by any other nation, because it was not any other nation that built us. It was from the Most High's protection and the Most High's guidance that we were built as a nation. But it goes on to say here, verse 15, but Jeshurun being a symbolic name for Israel, Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxen fat, thou art grown thick, thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook the God which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods. With abominations they provoked him to anger. They sacrificed to devils, not to God, to gods whom they knew not. Jumping down, it says this, verse number 21. They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities, and I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. So we see, according to the Bible, as I mentioned, we see that there's no romanticizing what happened. We began to turn our back on God, and therefore God turned his back on us. And the same nations that God sought to put us over, where he says that we would lend to them and they would not lend to us, we would be the head, they would be the tail. Those same nations would he make the head over us. Those same nations would he make us to seek for all things, for food, shelter, raiment, and all things that we needed to survive as a nation. It all stemmed from us forsaking the Most High. And now these same nations who we look at, whether it be East Indians, the Asians, whether it be Esau, or whatever those nations may be, all of these nations have now been set over us. And now we're in a position where, again, they've misused us, abused us, and we're still seeking some form of justice. So the question is, how will we get out of this? Last scripture, this is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse number, let me get straight to the point, 30 and 4. And these are the words that the Lord spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore doeth I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned to paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he will be saved out of it. So the Most High will save us out of this position. Okay, but we first have to acknowledge the God from whence we fell, so that he can protect us from our religious enemies, our political enemies, our cultural enemies, or however you may deem them. It will be through his guidance and through his power and coming back to his laws, statutes, and commandments that will give us the strength to one day overcome. Last verse, it says here, for it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck. So all the yokes, the yoke that has been put upon us through Esau, through the other nations such as Japheth, through the other nations such as the East Indians, their yoke has been placed upon our neck. But the Most High will be the one that breaks it off. But we have to come back and commit to the Most High. And will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. The time will come in which the strangers will no longer be able to use you to pass hate crime bills. They'll be no longer able to use you to pass criminal bills. They'll be no longer be able to use you to financially aggrandize themselves. The Most High is taking all of that away. Okay, but it first comes back with us acknowledging who we are and coming back to the God who saved us out of our first captivity and who will surely save us out of this last captivity. And with that, I yield.
Okay. And that concludes our discussion today from Japheth, China to Babylon. If you want to understand why they're opening up the borders for immigrants, and it's as if these other nations have been incentivized over our people in the lands our forefathers built. Well, this will express and bring you full understanding to why other black and brown people have been incentivized as a social army to suppress and or to destroy our people according to God. But God has another plan. They will fail in their attempt to destroy us. And at the end of it, our God will be exalted while their God judged. And guess what? They'll be judged with their God. They're behind the systems that are forcing certain things on our people and saying, get this and get that and do this and do that. It's going to be these people as the political leaders who will lead our people to their graves. Either follow God or fall by the hand of Satan's armies. The Gentile usurpers. The Gentile usurpers. Now, again, historytimes.org for August 28th. Real quick, Elder Lawya, I wanted to break this down real quick. And I just want to touch on this real quick because people might ask, why don't we respond to podcasts and other things that are being said or whatever the case is? Because when you're doing Christ's work, one must focus on Christ's work. So when you see podcasts or anything that's out there, you have to weigh it with Christ. Okay? When you look at what it says in Matthew 15, Elder Lawya, you can go to Matthew 15 for me. This is how you measure anything that comes out of anyone's mouth, including ours. Including ours. Okay? I need you to go to Matthew 15, and I want everyone to see this real quick. Matthew 15 and 10. I need you to read this.
Yes, sir. Matthew 15, verse 10.
This is Christ.
And he called. Yes, sir. And he called the multitude and said unto them, hear and understand. Not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth a man.
So Christ made it clear. It's not what goeth into the mouth that defile a man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth the man. So we don't have to answer to anything out there. Why? Because if you listen, you'll know whether or not it's the fruit of the Spirit or the tongue of the devil. See, that's how you weigh anything that's out there, be it podcasts or anything else. What fruit is it bearing? Righteous fruit or venom? So when it comes to anything out there, you have to listen to it through what Christ is saying right here. Christ says, anybody on the outside of what we're doing, let them alone. Leave them alone, because if it's not of Christ, it's going to come to naught. So the best thing to do is to continue in what the Most High called us to do and not respond to anything that's out there. When Christ returns, he'll find us working. So at the end of the day, brothers and sisters, when it comes to other stuff that's out there, Christ made it clear. What cometh out of a man defileth a man. And when you hear what comes out of a man's mouth, you'll know what they're really about. And then you can make your own discernment on what is. Our focus aren't back and forth conversation. Our focus is, that's right, the mission Christ called us on for this gathering of Christ Church since 2008, 2009. On the streets before there was any such thing as YouTube. The Most High showed us the day we're living in, and now we're here to let brothers and sisters know what's next. So what you hear is what comes from the voice of a man. Anyone out there. And you have to examine if it's fruits of the Spirit that leads us to Christ or venom. You have to make that choice. Okay? With that, hold on, and we're gonna jump right in with the phone calls. 515-605-9327. Now, I also want to say that, brothers and sisters, you will be getting the Gathering of Christ Church 7 days a week. 7 days a week. We're going to have our brothers come on and bring on guests for GOCC Media. So when you're not seeing me, you will see a brother and sisters. We're going to introduce you people who are operating in the church all around the earth, where you'll be getting, that's right, some level of understanding every day of the week. And we're working behind the scenes with all the other churches to find those who have certain gifts, talents, and all that to introduce themselves through us on GOCC Media. You'll always have something to view as the time grow near. We must have a unified voice out there so that when everything goes out, you'll know what to do. Okay? The direction must stay unified. So you're going to have us 7 days a week. If it's not me, it's going to be someone else. Elder Rawchaa, Elder Lawya is doing a great, great job. He's there Tuesday. I'm here Wednesday. We're going to have someone Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. All the time you're going to have UK. A lot of our brothers in the UK, Dawada, Yahawashah, Gaja, everyone is going to be coming through, bringing forth information, understanding. Shabbat on Sunday with the news. Folks, we're going to always be doing something. Keep your eyes focused. Keep your eyes focused. And as you see and the work that come from a mouth, anyone's mouth, even our mouth, you'll know what's of Christ and what's of venom. Okay? Hold on. Let's go here. 515-605-9327. Okay? 1 second. I'm going to open it up for the calls. 1 moment. All right, Elder Lawya, let's see. I hope this works because this thing been giving us problems. If it cut out, I'm going to call you right back, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to try it. And it cut out. I'll call you right back. I'll fix it later. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. 1 second here. Let me get this together. Okay, got that. All right, let me try it now. One second. 515-605-9327 if you want to chime in.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key. I'm sorry, but I did not hear you press at least 4 digits of your PIN number. We are reconnecting you now. Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
All right, 1 second here. 1 second. 1 second here. One second, folks. I'm good. Skype is trying to mess up on me here. I apologize. Give me one moment. I apologize. I'm going to try it once more. Oh, the host. All right. I'll try it once more. Hold tight. I know you're online, but this thing is giving me problems. One moment. All right. All right. I think I'm there. Yeah. All right. Hold on. Settings. Audio. Check 1, 2. All right. I'm live. I am live. The host is in. Let's open up the lines from Japheth, China to Babylon, starting with 706. You've been here for a long time. Hope this works. Shalom, you're live with the Gathering of Christ Church. 706. All right, 1 second. I think there's an issue here. All right, one moment. There's an issue here.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter. To a live show, we are reconnecting you now.
All right, we're live. 515-605-9321 for the calls from Japheth, China to Babylon. I hope you've been taught, understand something that we need to understand prophetically, that the Most High put hook in Japheth's jaw so we can understand who's been working behind closed doors the whole time, not just Esau, not just the Roman Empire, folks. Japheth been working and the Most High put hooks in his jaw so we can recognize that they made themselves like unto Babylon and will be destroyed with her. All right, 706 area code. Shalom, you're live. Hello?
Shalom, Elder.
How are you?
Hello.
Yes.
I'm fine. How are you? All praise to the Most High.
Your name?
Just want to make a comment. Stanzy Jackson.
Oh, okay. Go on. The floor is yours.
Okay. I got baptized this past weekend. Can you hear me?
Yeah, fantastic. I can hear you.
Okay, and then I joined the academy for the 6th time.
Thank you.
And then I understand what you were saying about the Chinese and stuff, because that's the incident of that here in Alabama, where they got a whole community in Opelika. They got their own bank, the area set up and everything. So I know what you are telling us is the truth from the Most High. And I thank you for that.
You're welcome. I'm a servant. I have to.
I also thank God for y'all. Excuse me?
Can you hear me clearly or no?
You kind of coming in and out like a delay, but I can hear you.
Okay, go on.
But the experience I had from getting baptized was amazing. To see all the people that was there to get baptized, plus the elder people bringing their children and their grandkids.
Look at that.
And stuff. And what I saw that was interesting is that while we was out there, we had some Gentiles up there taking pictures.
Isn't that something?
Of the ceremony.
Look at that.
And then I saw helicopters riding around, and I was like, that's kind of weird. And then it was saying that it was going to rain all that day, so I didn't know whether to go or not, but I still went. I said, I'm not going to let nothing stop me.
I mean,
but when we got up there and
the
sun
came
out.
I don't know if rain can stop someone from getting in water. You're going to get wet anyway. But
Right.
Yeah.
But it was just, you know how you say that they put on the TV, you know, about the weather, but the Most High really controls everything.
Exactly. You're right.
And I feel like when the storms and stuff do come in, I feel like whatever they're trying to do, he put a little bit more oomph to it because he's in control.
Exactly. At the end of the day, he's in control, sister. Let me ask you, what area, what city did you get baptized under, or what church?
In Atlanta under Elder Rawchaa, I think. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name.
Well, he's soon to be. He's deacon, but
he has a very good spirit.
Oh yeah, he's deacon, but he's moving towards bishop soon.
I'm sorry.
I say he's deacon, but he's moving towards bishop soon. Yeah, yeah, but he's a great man. He's a great man.
Okay.
All right, so
great man and stuff.
Well, thank you, sister, and welcome to the body. And when I come to Atlanta, I would love to meet you. Okay.
I would love to meet you too, and hopefully by that time I'd have been and got my son and my great grandson and all of them join the church.
Oh yeah, and congratulations! Welcome to the body. Welcome to the body, and guess what?
Okay.
The next Passover will be in Augusta. So
I might be able to come.
We're gonna be in Atlanta for the Passover, so I hope to see you there too. If I don't see you before that, okay?
All right.
All right. Bless you.
Okay. Thank you, the water.
I end the
Praise
bar.
to the Most High. Bless you all too.
All right. Shalom. I'll place you on hold. 340 area code. 340. Shalom.
Hello.
How you doing, sunshine?
Hello. Hi, Elder.
You know what I'm gonna do, sunshine?
Hi.
What I'm gonna do, sunshine, is I'm going to one day put up Zoom. I'm gonna put up Zoom and have you click the Zoom so that everyone can see you for the first time. Because I don't know.
Okay.
I know everyone is chopping at the bit to find out what's going on with this young lady, and I think that's going to be something that people can look forward to. But go ahead. I'm having you in there early. but you have to go through it quick. Come on, Sunshine. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh, okay. 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 Oh, wow. It's clear that the nakedness of the Gentiles, that, it's not for our turn that they're so exposed in prophecy. Those of sin are being revealed, and they can't hide no matter how they have tried for years. The Most High's word doesn't come back void, so we can see them, and their agendas are clear as day now, put against us, and we're in bondage, as a result of all their playing games. And they, through one side of their mouth, that they are doing things for the benefit of the communities, all communities, and especially the poor, and in the way they, set rec centers and housing communities and, neighborhood churches and clinics and so on. But really, they're aiming their efforts they see as the greater good, which through their continual actions, we of Israel, with eyes to see, know is indeed not us, where we aren't included in the greater. But at any turn, the evidence is, in what they tell us in our faces, in their exclusion of us, mention civil rights help or compensations to all nations, creeds, and preferences, all races and lifestyles. But by the process of elimination, it shows our recognition only, as you were talking about, perverse and fornicators, the disproportionately affected, ignorant, perpetually, needing to be in jail or slave worthy and discardable and born immoral. And as this affects the whole earth in the four corners of the world, wherever in scatter, according to prophecy, for our actions against the Most High. And it isn't hard to follow the cookie crumbs that they leave behind, the nation, not Israel, and who are against Israel and God. They leave these behind. And by looking at who, like Elder Lawya was talking about, has gained richly as whole nations out of Esau's kingdom, and who have continued as a whole nation under Rome's reign. It is exactly as Paul said, that our fall being the riches and salvation unto the Gentiles, who have also magnified themselves in a generational boast against us, our sons and daughters, and as far down the line as the perpetual curse is pushed into on our people, so that we are as the invisible people that roam the earth in a hushed conspiracy, that all nations have kept their cultures and traditions and worships intact with their gods, and they also know the races upon the earth, and all operate at a level of segregation unless they have succumbed to the melting pot that Elder Lawya was mentioning, to the delusion of America that has been ushered onto the world again by our creativity and the spirit of who we are. And the so-called, disposable as they think we are, yet we alone, poor and in tribulation, rich, are left for dead to wander the earth, working our bone until our literal death, without clarity on who we are and have always been, that our Father in heaven, whom we receive love and chastening and have always, is a higher, and that although we are used and abused daily in this world, in this kingdom, we are not invisible to our, and he will not utterly destroy us, and we are the sons and daughters of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Most High loves, and who was promised. So if we walk in escape of the hour of temptation, our nation will prevail and will not be hid under a bushel anymore, under a table, and no longer be called by bywords or deemed invisible. And we will be known as the sons of the living God. And that's all I wanted to say, Elder. Praise the Most High.
There you go. Bless you.
Praise the Most High.
She did it. She went through it. Thank you for your copious notes, Sunshine. We love your soliloquy. Your soliloquy. 414 area code. Let's do it. 508. I see your hand raised. I'll bring you in next. 414 area code.
Shalom, Elder.
Shalom,
Andre
sir.
Judah Thomas.
How are you?
Shalom. I just wanted to say I'm all right. I'm all right. Yourself?
I'm blessed.
Oh yeah, always. I just want to say the water for reconnecting me with the Chicago body.
Okay.
Yeah, I brought my family there too, and they loved the experience. So I can't wait to go back and see those brothers.
Okay.
And I wanted to say, when you said that this lesson, this broadcast was going to be turned up, you turned all the way up for real. Thank you for this lesson.
Praise the Most High. All praises go to him.
And last but not least, yes, all praises be to the Most High. Last but not least, I just want to say, if for those that's listening, if you're not in the academy, what you got today was just a sample of a sample. You might want to get the academy to get the rest. And that's all I have to say.
Well, thank
you.
Elders. Oh, it's a lot today, but I can't wait till Sunday. Thank you, my brother. And when I take a trip to Chicago, I hope to see you there. I'm looking to link there soon too.
Oh yeah.
All right. Thank you, my brother.
I can't wait for the holy days that's coming up in a few weeks too.
Oh
I know they're coming up. I will be there too.
All right, brother. And never let that light. Don't ever let that light go out. Understand where you are. We're in the home stretch, brothers and sisters. I'm going to tell you, brother. Let me tell you. Christ said, "Ye that endure unto the end, the same shall be saved." Okay, the greatest thank you anyone could ever do, and I tell everyone who comes in, is to finish. Okay? So the Bible tells you that when you eat this roll, it's sweet, but when it goes into the belly, it becomes bitter. The reality that comes with what? Carrying and digging with Christ's plow. It's going to be hard. It's not all easy. But enjoy this time, okay, and endure with patience and long suffering for God's people. All right? That's what it's about.
Perfectly said.
All right, so I'll see you soon.
The water, Elders.
Ayenda Bar. Thank you.
508
have his hands raised. 508. Shalom. Hello? I'm sorry. Something's going on with your phone. Get that together. Probably take it off speaker, and I'll pull you in a couple of minutes. 414. I think I just talked to 414. 507 area code. 507.
Shalom. How you doing?
I'm blessed by the Almighty. How are you?
I'm good. Your jelly will be there to you tomorrow, so be looking for your package.
Oh, you got the grape jelly homemade? You made it homemade?
Yes, sir. I sent you a couple of them, variety for you and Elder Lawya and whoever you want to give somebody else to there.
Thank you.
So you should have them tomorrow.
I'll break it out and I'll share it.
You're very welcome.
I'm not going to covet what's belonging to some. You know what I mean? I'm going to have some for myself. Take a little butter, toast that thing, and just take some of that jelly, put it on there, and with some eggs and turkey bacon, make it work. So I appreciate it. Thank you, sister.
You got Concord grape, what you asked for. I sent some white grape. I think I sent some peach mango. Some, I don't know if I put pineapple, if it was done. Maybe some pineapple orange.
You got pineapple orange jelly?
Yeah.
Lord in the morning.
Yes,
All
yes
right.
Sir.
Oh, hey, we're going to make it work.
Apple was my favorite, but my new favorite now is pineapple.
Did you send apple?
Oh, I believe I did.
Okay, well, I'm going to
believe I did.
I'm going to take the Concord grape and the apple for myself. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. And
okay.
If it's good,
okay.
If it's
now,
good.
I have a question.
Before we do that,
I'm sorry.
I hope it's
is it good? Yes, it is.
Listen, I'm not going to listen. I know you put your love into it. That's all that matters. But if I see that this is something that can happen and it's good, we can talk about branding your stuff. So where we can help you get to that level. We can, as a family, help you get to the point where people can pick up some of this good jelly. So you never know how it works. So, all right. So,
and I so appreciate it. But this is one thing I do that nobody else do. That's making the jelly in the big major companies.
Yeah.
I pray over mine to a higher.
Okay.
Bahashaya.
Okay, you're praying over the jelly. All right. Hey, there you go. I know. I'm sure.
Right,
listen, I'm sure they're not doing that.
No
so
matter.
You got one up on them with that.
No matter what happens. Yes. No matter what happens, I pray that when they get this jelly, that the Spirit of the Most High come to them and make whatever their day is, makes their day better from that day forward.
Hey, that's those are good vibes. 9 times out of 10, the synagogue of Satan is sitting there After some crazy freak party and come the next morning, in a red robe over their Welches. Hell Satan to the pits of hell. If anything they doing with their stuff. So, hey, I'll take a highest jelly over that any day. All right, sister. So I'll let you know once I get it, and I'll show people the jars and let others know how they can actually get it. You said anything else before I go to the next call?
Yes, it's something real quick.
Yeah.
I sent a friend request to a young lady.
Yeah.
Through Facebook, I'm trying to get myself with like-minded people,
yeah.
And to form a prayer circle, to give something uplifting every day. Because you never know what people are going through, and so many of our people are being hit with different things day to day. So if you got a prayer circle or you get something uplifting that's motivational, that's something that can help people get through their day.
Yeah.
This young lady, I had spoke to you before in regards to my past of being in the Eastern Star. Remember that?
Yeah.
You had a segment in. I called in about that.
I remember.
Well, she went onto my page and searched through there from pictures I had put way back. But when someone comments on that post, it'll bring it forward as if it was something new. She seen all of this and was threatening, saying, I'm going to expose you and to GOCC that you're a fraud, you're a witch, you're this, that, and you need to repent. And I told her I have repented.
Sister,
I am no longer an Eastern Star. I have been baptized.
Sister, listen. Sister, I'm going to tell you this. And I hate, it's harder for women to do this than men because women, really the Most High made you nurturers and care. You have a care that's different than, of course, that's what makes you a woman, right? But sometimes that can work as a fault, how everyone else views you or what they think about you. Your feelings can be hurt, or you want to prove to someone you're not how they view you. Sister, I'm going to tell you, part of becoming a part of this body in Christ, you have to let that stuff roll right off of you. You don't got to justify yourself with anyone. You need to justify.
And that's just what I told her.
No, listen, I'm saying, but you're telling me, you give me here a conversation. I'm giving you something greater, if you can ascertain. It's not even about her. Okay. It's not even about her. What she did wasn't accusing you. What you have to look at is what did Christ wanted me to see in this interaction, regardless of how she viewed this. And that is it's our responsibility publicly not to put a stumbling block in front of those who may not know any better. So I wouldn't have cared about what she said, but I would have thanked her, because this is something that you forgot about. And maybe you need to go backward and look at the stuff that can put a stumbling block with you teaching what you have now, with the contradiction you have on your page. Because when people come, they search everything. And guess what? Not just the righteous. Usually it's the accuser of the brethren that are looking for something to throw shade on your newfound understanding. So I would thank this person, because what they're trying to do is what? I thank her for bringing that out so that you can get rid of it, because the devil will find it and say, listen, you are an Eastern Star. You was once my child, and now I'm going to use that to soil you what this truth, this purity that you're receiving now. So it was the Most High that allowed her to point out something you forgot. Let me tell you, the accuser of the brethren, listen to me clearly. The accuser of the brethren are accusatory first. They look to accuse first. They don't look to show mercy and deal with you from a mercy standpoint. They look to accuse the brethren. And that's why and I have to get to the next call, sister, but that's why you really need to be on this lesson I'm going to do this coming Sabbath, the spirit of Cain. You have to be there.
Oh, I don't miss it.
No. Listen to what I'm saying, though. You must be there, because a lot of people don't know that being shaped in iniquity, the majority of the people, without even knowing it, subconsciously operate and deal with conflict from the spirit of Cain and don't even know it. And this is that's why someone will look at your page, because you are speaking righteousness now. And now the devil will go and look at it and say, let me find darkness. Let me find something wrong to accuse you. But the whole deal is, I don't care what you find, because with sin, Christ covered that. You can't blame me for nothing, because guess what? They may be looking at your page, but the Most High is looking into them, the darkness that they're doing without people seeing. At least what you're doing is for everyone. It's to be seen before everyone. So, sister, let me tell you, this is a long road. Don't ever.
Oh yeah.
Listen. You got to listen. Don't ever deal with someone else's expectations of you. You can never fulfill someone else's view or expectation. It's impossible. Don't care what they have to say if you know what you're doing is right. And even in that negative discourse, that negative view, that accuser, it was the Most High allowing this negative person to look at something to actually find dirt that you can get rid of, to not be a stumbling block to someone in the future. So just be there Saturday for.
Now, see, I thought I had got rid of everything, but I don't know how to get that off of there, because I don't even see it anymore.
Well, sister, if someone else can get to it and you can't get it off, a matter of fact, don't worry about it. I'm going to have AC contact you. He's our tech guy. And if anyone knows how to get it off,
okay, please.
You're sending me the jelly. I'm sending you AC, the tech guy. He'll show you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. Bless you. All right. Shalom.
All right. Tawada.
All right. In the bar. 517 area code. (571). And when you hear somebody say, oh, the GOCC, I'm going to tell you right now, you have to understand when people are taking veiled shots, as if this isn't something greater than just a title. This is the gospel of Christ here. 571 area code.
Elder Rawchaa.
Yes.
Elder Rawchaa.
Yes, sir. How are you? Your name?
I just want to thank you. Harold, I'm from the body of GOCC DMV.
Okay. How you doing, brother? Your name?
But Harold.
The floor is yours. How are you?
Man, I just want to thank you for everything that you're doing, the truth that you brought me, because the things that I've been going through, walking through this walk, and every time I go through this walk, every time I go through everything, every time something comes to me, I just go ahead and I just put you on. And when I put you on, it opens up everything, because I understand that Elder Rawchaa, he's not the God. He's not nothing. Or he's a teacher. But it takes for me to open up my book and read it myself. And as I read it myself, it makes more understanding, because all he's doing is giving me the guidance to go back to that truth.
Yeah, I'm a servant. That's
and
it.
I just want to thank you for all of that.
Thank you. It's my duty, and I love doing it. And as long as when Christ says, the Most High, Christ said, as long as when he come back, he find that servant working. Okay. Am I perfect? Not by any stretch of the imagination, but I'll be working when he returns. Okay. If I'm here, I'm working.
Elder Rawchaa,
yeah.
It's not, you're not just working. You're working. You're doing the due diligence of the Most High. To me, what it feels like is when I first came into the truth, I didn't have no guidance.
Mm.
And I went from IUI, I went from all the mother camps, and then I just found myself to you, and levitated and gravitated to the understanding of what you do, because I'm like, he breaks it down the way I understand, and the way you understand is the way I was brought up. I'm like,
Praise the
Elder
Most High.
Rawchaa, I don't care what nobody say. Elder Rawchaa, he ain't playing no cut cards. He is not playing no cut cards. He tells you exactly how it is. A lot of people, a lot of camps that I was with, they were sugar coated, and then when you find out the truth, that sugar coat would come down to now it's water, and now you find out the truth, and now you're lost. And I'm like, nah, Elder Rawchaa don't do that. That's not one thing he does.
Hey, I'm a servant.
And I just want to tell you.
Thank you. All praise be to the Most High. All praises be to Yeshua. Yeah.
Yes, sir. All praises be to the Most High. But I just had one question.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
The question that I had was, I when I went to church the last Sabbath, we have a conversation over, can you eat duck or can you not?
You can't.
And I thought that you cannot.
You
correct?
Can't because it have webbed feet. It tell you that in Leviticus, when you go to Leviticus 11.
Okay, so that's where we were kind of confused at duck, the situation. Because
duck is unclean. Duck is unclean. Geese is unclean.
Okay, so that was one of the things I was trying to get out there. I was just like, man, look, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't know that. They feel like it's a bird.
Yeah. No, you can't. When you go in Leviticus 11, it tell you the fowls that you can eat. It have to be pheasant. Okay, chicken is from the pheasant family. Turkey is from the pheasant family, and that's what you can eat as far as the bird go. The pigeons, you can actually eat pigeons. Pigeons are clean. And I know that it don't look like they're doing some clean stuff out there. Pigeons are clean. Yes, clean. Doves, pigeons, those are clean animals. Those are clean poultry. But you cannot eat geese, swine, and all that, because the grease and all that, it consumes in their body. That's why it's extra greasy and fatty. It's almost like, to some degree, the pig of pheasants. I mean, the pig, not of pheasants, the pig of fowls. It's greasy and all that. You can't eat duck. I mean, quail is good. Quail is good, right?
Okay.
So but you cannot eat. You cannot eat duck. I mean, don't get me wrong. When my mom used to make duck around so-called Christmas, and that duck skin was all crispy and all that, and she had that buttered glaze on the top of that thing. Don't get it twisted. I mean, I would have a duck leg in my hand like the Flintstones. Okay, it's not like I've never. I have me a Flintstone duck leg. All right, so straight out.
Right.
Okay, so.
But that was one thing, because I know there's some churches out here that say that. Oh yeah,
I said pheasant, quail. I said pheasant. Let me correct that. Quail. It's quail that's in the chicken family. Let me correct that. Thank you. But yeah, pigeons are clean. Okay. But you cannot eat duck. You cannot eat duck. Okay.
Okay. I just wanted everybody else out here, because I understand that now, and now I understand that now that me and Officer Warner went through this and we found it out. I understand that now. But at first, because I was looking at the charts that they have up there for clean and unclean foods, and now I understand that, duck is not clean.
Yeah, it's not.
And he broke it down to me, but I was just like, but I thought it would be one thing that we want to clarify, so that everybody else want to understand that.
Oh wait. Well, hey, listen. Only thing they have to do is go to Leviticus 11, and it tell you right there, duck isn't clean. Crystal clear. The Bible can say it better than me. All right. You cannot eat pelican. Sir. You cannot. Hey, I seen one thing where man, the heathens are going wild. They was eating Over there in when I was over in the Middle East in Egypt, they was eating camel's hump. I'm like, y'all, they got us thinking Muslims are all clean over here in America. I'm like, you go over there and guess what? Just looking at what they eat and how they operate, you'll change your religion. Oh, you right there off the plane. Camel hump. And in one area, in certain countries, they eat kangaroo. Over in Australia, the heathens going wild. Come back to God. All right, brother, let me get to the next call because I have to digress. I'm about to rest, actually. All right, I'm tired. So I'm going to get to the next call. No duck. All right.
Get your most rest, bro. All praise the Most High.
I appreciate you.
All right.
All right, 731 area code. Shalom.
Hello?
Yes. How are you?
Elder?
Yes.
Fine, how are you?
I'm doing well.
I have a question.
Yes.
Were there one or two angelic fallen aways?
That's a great question. There were actually, brother, there were three.
Wow.
There were three. And guess what? It still happened until this day. When you look in the book of Revelation and when it tells you a star fell from heaven, it has always happened. But when you're talking about the Old Testament biblical understanding of it, you had the 1/3, which are the old gods. You heard? Do you hear on Game of Thrones? Have you ever seen that, where they talk about the old gods and the new gods? The old gods and the new. They're really cold telling people exactly how many falls there were. You had the old God, Satan and his angels, 1/3, who fell at first, and that began the abyss or the face of the deep. The Most High put a firmament around that, and the waters separated from the waters. It became a congealed ball of ice, and eventually they would come out of the ice once the water subside. That's why they came out of the area of North Pole and the poles out of Antarctica. They were here in the earth once the earth subsided. Before Adam, they made cities out of the ice. And these are the first gods. And then you have the next gods during the time of Jared when they came down on Mount Hermon. Okay? When the sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair and began to mate with them and brought forth giants. And then it says what the Most High showed Moses. And then after that means what? It would happen again after the flood. Through the sons of the giants who escaped the flood, and they would begin to do it again. Deal with the daughters of Cain, with their rituals, and angels would come down and deal, and that started happening in the land of Canaan near Mount Seir again. By the time Moses came there were giants in the land. So there's three epic scenarios of the fallen angels, and the identifier, their signature in any area where the angels fell, is when you have a civilization of giants. That's their signature, that the angels fell throughout time. And when Goliath went against David and all that, that's right. That's David fighting a child of what? A fallen one. Okay?
Right.
But
so
hey,
could it be
possible? But hold up now. I'm quantifying a lot of information that need what? That need historical and biblical references and backup. What I've just quantified to you is just an overview of what I'm teaching this Sunday and the Sunday subsequent to that. So I can't quantify all of that for you without the history background that goes with it. So I would say, are you in the academy?
No, sir, I'm not.
Okay, well, can you get in the academy? It starts Sunday.
Well, at the moment right now,
Okay,
kind of,
well, I'll tell you what. Send an email to gatheringas1@aol.com. Say you spoke to Elder Rawchaa. I'll speak to you, and let's see what we can do to get you up in there, okay?
yes, sir.
Because I can't teach this lesson tonight. I'm teaching it Sunday. All right?
Yes, sir. I thank you. I appreciate that. I understand.
All right. All right. Thank you. All right. I can put you on hold, and I'll be looking forward to the email. All right. Shalom.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Shalom.
All right. We're digressing. I already had 414-731. I hung up 870. We'll take one more call, and that will conclude our broadcast for this evening. 870 area code. Get in the academy. That's all I can tell you. Shalom.
Hello, my name's James.
How you doing, James?
All right, you. I'm glad I'm able to talk to you about this honor. I'm calling from Forest City, Arkansas.
Yes.
And I know who I am as a people. Thank God for your lessons. I listen to them, and it's like I said, it's an honor. I'm pleased to talk to you.
Okay.
I just wanted to talk about 3 dreams I had and a couple of visions I had, and they're powerful. And I just can't get them out of my head.
Okay, but before we go there, hey, because I'm about to go to sleep, I would rather you put it in an email and send it. How long will this take?
Not very long at all.
Well, we need a timestamp, or I can take your phone number and call you and get that. Are you saying you can do this within 3 minutes?
Yes.
Okay. Shoot.
Okay, can you hear me? I had to put you on speaker because for some reason the volume was way down low even though it's turned all the way up.
I can hear you.
Okay. And I had each one of these dreams twice. And the first time I had it, I was with my father, and the second time
hold up. Brother, I'm gonna let you roll with one of them. But understand the Bible says that we have to that we cannot regard dreams to that degree when it talks. It's like catching a shadow. If it be not sent from the Most High, don't regard them, because sometimes dreams are made from your subconscious, from the things that you're dealing with. It has to be confirmed through Scripture whether or not that dream is correct. All right. So I'm not discounting your visions, because the Most High said in Joel that we shall, the young shall see visions, and even the women shall dream dreams. Right? That there will be people dreaming and getting insight to Bible prophecy. And it says, if it be not sent from God, don't regard them, which means if I can't go into the scriptures to confirm that this is going to happen according to God's word, I can't regard it. I'll give you one of them. Give me one of them, and the rest I can probably call you and we can talk about that. I have to be careful because I don't want a lot of people. Listen, I like to set a precedent because I know how our people are with dreams. The Most High give them to me too. Everyone gets them. So I don't want to open a forum where everybody start coming in and saying, well, okay, here's my dream. But I'm going to let you flow with one of them. Go on.
Well, I'll tell you about this vision I had. It was one evening right before dusk dark. It was a cloud sculpted like an angel. It was huge, and it stayed there for the longest time. And about 9 o'clock, it was just about over the building I live in. And it stayed there for the longest time, and it dissipated over my building of all places. And then across the street, I live across the street from the high school, I saw a big, it was dark, black dark then. I saw a big mushroom cloud glowing behind this gym over here across the street from where I live now.
Okay, so
and then I had a couple of questions.
Okay, well, let's get that. So what do you think that is? What do you think? What did you quantify from those dreams?
Well, I think the Lord is getting ready to come back for his people, and It's war fixing to happen. That mushroom cloud, I think that's symbolic of a war.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, without your dream, I can confirm we're close to the time that Christ will need to come to save us. There will be nuclear war on the earth that's prophesied in the book of Ezra. So So it's in the Bible, so that's confirmed. But you have to understand that the Most High is bound by his word. You have to understand the chronology.
Mm-hmm.
You have to understand the chronology of these events, which means none of that, what you just mentioned, can happen until the war with Iran happens first. And that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So if anything, when the Most High send you a dream showing you a vision of a return, that's a personal dream that's telling you that if something isn't right, it's time for you to fix that. That's a sign for you to repent and get in order in preparation for Christ's return. Everything you said, it's in the Bible. It's coming. But there's a reason why the Most High gave it to you. And listen, the whole deal is I'm a teacher. I edify.
That was an actual vision.
Okay, I understand, but listen to what I'm saying. Everything isn't for everyone. Because I'm going to tell you this. The Most High show me things all the time. But I will never get on a public forum to say this is what the Most High has shown me. Because then that can become synonymous to necromancy, where now people are valuing my visions over the word of God. What the Most High showed me through visions is for me, what I need to correct in myself, what I need to understand based on that. Now, if it's something that he put on my heart to teach the people, and I see in a vision, being that I'm a Bible man, I can easily go into the Bible and show the precepts and say, it's not my vision. This is what the Most High probably want me to teach today. Thus saith the Lord. And that's how you measure that, not get caught up in the dreams, because there's also sin in dreams, dark thoughts in dreams. There's also lust in dreams. So we have to be careful because the devil sneaks in those too. The greatest discerner within dreams is the word filtering our hearts. We were shaped in iniquity, and sometimes the iniquity show up. That's why I'm careful not to regard dreams. Your dreams, brother, are for you. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
And I got a question.
Yes.
I was told I was born with a veil over my head, not the medical term.
No.
Term.
Let me tell you, that was a witch or a demon who told you that. Okay? That's old witchcraft talk. Okay? That was a demon who told you that. Okay? That's all witchcraft and sorcery talk. Rebuke that to the pits of hell. You wasn't born with no veil over your head that have you aspire into the dark, that have you aspire to actually inquire into the dark world, believing you're special. That's witch talk. You were born a child of Israel.
That's very slippery.
You were born the child of Israel. You were born to see the Bible, which is the truth. Rip that veil they're talking about, and we need to stop that superstition, witchcraft talk. That was a witch or a warlock told you that. Okay? You wasn't born with nothing over your head. They lying to you. All right?
And I got a question about watchmen. How do you know if you're a watchman?
Well, when it comes to a ministry, you have to be appointed into a ministry. You can't believe you're a watchman yourself. Like, for instance, so it so happened that the Most High made me a watchman understanding the prophecies of the book, right? But when I came in, I just came in to learn. I didn't understand what I'm going to be. Don't aspire to be anything. Follow Christ and get appointed. Wait on your ministry. If you don't know you are a watchman, you're not a watchman. When one ought to be a teacher, one must learn again, which be the first principles and oracles of God. Wait on your ministry. None of us are special until we're chosen by God to do and appointed in a ministry. Come through, get baptized, and receive the Spirit And the Spirit will guide you into your position that Christ appoints. And it doesn't happen until then. It doesn't happen from someone looking at you and saying a veil was over you or some dreams or whatever. And I know all of this stuff have merit in the world, but it has no merit for Christ's kingdom. Because witches and warlocks have dreams and visions too. And they're necromancers. They can see the future. See? Come through and be born again and have those superstitions washed off of you, so you can stand anew and be reborn and shaped in the form of light. Be shaped in the form of Christ. And let's get all that superstition stuff off of you. They lied to you. Stop it. And when people start talking about their dreams over and over again, you know what I tell them? Listen, you're sleeping too much. Wake up. The Bible says you only need a little folding of hands. You're sleeping too much. The reality is what's going on when we are wide awoke. Okay?
Right.
Wake up. All right?
A lot of people are in stupor in other words.
You're right. So get baptized, brother, so we can get that veil, that other stuff that's happening out there for you. All right?
Oh, I've been baptized back in the 80s when I was.
Oh, no. We talking about a real baptism.
Old.
It was probably somebody in church told you had a veil over you. We need to get that washed off you too. So call us up and let's get that baptism rolling. All right?
Right.
All right. Bless you, man. I'm going to put you on hold.
Thank
right?
you.
You're welcome. Last call for this evening, 725 area code.
Shalom, Elder. I had a question. Can you hear me?
Yes. How are you?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm doing good. What about yourself, Elder?
Hey, I'm blessed. Hey, brother, listen. I'm stronger than ever.
And that's a blessing.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
A blessing.
I
don't know if it's any relay. I don't know if it's any relay on your end or delay on my end or whatever the case may be, but excuse me if we interrupt each other.
Okay. It's a little delay. It's okay. But go on.
Okay. All right, for sure. So one of your services, you were talking about ivermectin for those of who already took the shot in ignorance or whatever the case may be.
You are violating everything that's going to keep us. You are trying to stop us from broadcasting here. We don't talk about that stuff here on YouTube.
Okay.
Are you one of the Patreon members?
Absolutely.
Call me this Friday and we'll talk about that there. You have all types of bots and sentinels coming here to try to strike this page. You start talking about, I said, get this drug and do that. Oh, no. Nah, this page, many people look forward to hearing the word and the understanding and the direction on this page, and we're not going to be taken down through a technicality. So hold that till Friday.
Yes, sir.
All right?
All right.
All right. Well, thank you, my brother.
All right. Shalom.
Shalom.
Yes, sir.
Well, brothers and sisters, that concludes our broadcast for this evening. That concludes that. I thank you for being loyal followers of the Gathering of Christ Church. Please make sure, if you haven't already, go to historytimes.org and enroll. Thank you, Elder Dell and Yarack, for actually monitoring our chat. There's a lot of things going on. I see y'all put a lot of people in timeout and gigabyte land. Thank you for that, elders, for having my back always and looking out for the church. You know I love you all, you elders who work. Elder Lawya, you know how I feel about you. And all the wives and family and sisters who are doing the work continually to assist us in this work we have in Christ. We thank you all for your support. Go to historytimes.org. If you love what you've seen tonight, this is the tip of the iceberg. I tell you this right now, it's only the tip of the iceberg. Get into historytimes.org and get in for the creation of the universe. The creation of the universe. Okay. I think I have one more call. 202. Last call.
Yes, hi. How you doing? This is Christina.
Hi, Christina.
Hi, Elder.
Hi.
I had a question real quick. How do we know how much time we have left in captivity or Babylon?
If are you in the academy?
I've been guessing. No, I've never been in the academy, but I've been studying with you for 8 years.
Okay.
And,
all right. Well, let me answer the question.
Yeah.
In the academy, I'm going to be breaking down. Okay. I'm going to be breaking down, listen to me clearly, the secrets of the times to show you how many jubilees from the time that Christ was born that we would have, which is the end of days, starting with Christ's birth. We're in what you would call the time and the divided of times, which is 1,750 years from the time Christ's birth, his return would be. Listen to me clearly. We are not in the year 2022. That's alive from the pits of hell. We're not even in the year 1800. They took almost 300 years from the calendar, and I can tell you exactly how they did so. While we were asleep, they added time. Okay? Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you, we're pretty close. No man know the day or the hour.
Yeah.
Listen to me. No man know the day or the hour.
Okay.
No man know the day or the hour. But absolutely, they talking about 2050 and all that, 2050. Let me tell you, the calculations that I have is well before that. So,
yeah, me too.
So, but even if we knew the time, because the devil know the time, if Christ didn't come back, he had to cut the time short, lest no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, the time is short. So there is a time that was given to the wicked to rule this earth for a specific time that Christ will cut short. Okay, I can't go into that now because I would need proof, data, and all of that. And we have to understand that everything isn't for everyone. Okay, there's things that we say publicly, and there's things that we have to operate within the work itself. All right, so
right. So
listen.
I'm not gonna say what I wanted to say, but okay.
Okay, so let's do this. Sister, get in the academy, and I'll share some of that over there. It's up to you.
Okay, they said, did you have to be baptized to be in the academy or no?
You do not have to be baptized to be in the academy.
Yeah, because I'm from the DC body and I've been having a lot of problems with baptism. I didn't even get baptized yet. I've been studying for like 9 years with you.
Okay, well that's a problem. Did you ask to be baptized?
Yes, I did. The last time, not this last time of baptism here in DC, but I would say maybe about 9 months ago when they had it around. I can't remember when exactly, but it was a time where I was right on time to take the class for baptism and everything, and it didn't come through. They wasn't professional. It's a lot of unprofessionalism going on in the DC sector. And I have my reasons why that is happening.
Sister, listen to me clearly. Okay, I don't deal with a lot of accusations publicly that should be private. I don't do that. And we have brand new people that are over the DMV that weren't there before, because there's a lot of things I found out that needed to be cleared up in these areas. So you don't have to worry about that. It's better now. Okay, so I can't go by things that I didn't witness myself. I don't do that. I don't look backward. I look forward. So if you can do so and forgive the brethren for whatever happened in the past.
I apologize for that.
You don't have to worry about that. We all are shaped and we operate a certain type of way. I'm not saying you're wrong. I didn't want you to have a wrong experience, but we're here now. That we've cleared things up. The gathering is perfect there now. I put people in place directly that was raised under myself. That's there. Okay? So you don't have to worry about that, all right? So what you can do, what's your name again?
Is there any way you can get somebody of those people to contact me? Because
what's your name?
The two that my name is Christina.
All right, hold on.
Named after Christ.
All right, Christina. All right, hold on. All right. Oh my goodness, girl. Because I mean,
yes, I love my name. It means follower of Christ.
Okay, a wonderful thing. All right, let me put your number down here. Sister, you can put in all your personal business and everything you're going through. Listen, let me tell you, brothers and sisters still trying to get it together as we go along, and we have to give it a little grace. All right, everything isn't perfect. We're trying to fix things. All right.
Yes, I feel like a baptism would, cleanse some things.
Okay, well, guess what? Jermaine just responded back and said he's going to reach out to you so that we can get this together. Don't worry about it. Thanks for hanging on in there. And you do not have to be, you don't have to, listen, you don't have to be baptized to be in the academy. You don't even have to be there on Sunday to be in the academy. Everything is recorded. The links are sent. So if you have to work or something like that, it doesn't matter because you can always click when you get off work or the next day to see the whole program. So there's no reason why you shouldn't participate. And I'm talking about everyone. And backed by popular demand, you can actually download the information and have on your device to see it at any time you would like. We stopped that for a while, but backed by popular demand, you can actually download it even if you're not there. You don't have to wake up Sunday. Get up whenever you get up on Sunday and see it, when you can. Download it, and now you have it on your own device to be able to see it at will. Okay, so historytimes.org.
Okay,
all right.
Well, I'll be inquiring about a class in October.
Okay, it's up to you. Well, it starts this week. All right, this is the first week. October, you're going to be far into the academy. That's up to you. All right, but go to historytimes.org.
Oh, okay. No, I mean for the next one. Whenever the next one is, because I can't do this one because I'm moving and stuff. So,
sister, is at your discretion. Jermaine is going to call. Matter of fact, Jermaine is going to call you, and we'll work it out. All right. Either way, with or without the academy, come on through and be a part of the body. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. I am tired. All right. It's time to go to sleep. May the Most High be with you. Stay prayed up. Sin not. We will soon see Zion.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.
Thank you, Elder Lawya. I really appreciate you. Get some rest. And stay prayed up, brothers and sisters. We're close. Okay. Stay close. Stay close. Stay woke. All right. I'm Elder Rawchaa of the Gathering of Christ Church. I thank you for participating in this particular broadcast this evening. Share it, share, subscribe, because we're under a shadow ban. Check to make sure YouTube hasn't unsubscribed you, because they are unsubscribing people from our channel. In the darkness in the cover of night while we're asleep. All right, so check and make sure you're still subscribed to the channel, because there's a lot coming. There's going to be a lot of events coming between now and the election. Be ready for them to do a big event where black people are going to be where the letter group and others are going to try to get our people up in arms to go out and riot and all this old stuff because something else happened to a black person. Do not fall for it. Okay? Do not fall for it. Do not get politically triggered before an election. What have we learned throughout all of this? They get us to come out. Then after these people are voted in, they forget you. All right. So don't go for the political, racial trigger they'll use. Okay. Don't go for it. All right. We're going to have GOCC Media going all the time. So make sure you go to GOCC Media and YouTube and subscribe so that you can meet the other brothers and the elders and others throughout the four corners of the earth who will be bringing forth spiritual content that keeps us focused on the direction of this church towards Christ's kingdom. All right. Make sure if you haven't joined Patreon, go to Patreon.com/AGathering144 and join us there. Content that cannot be seen here. Usually we do it there. That's right. Saturday, the spirit of Cain taught right here on the Sabbath. You don't want to miss that before we go into the Hebrew Bible Academy week 1. Week 1, and you know what that is. Boom. The creation of the universe. I'm Elder Rawchaa. Good night. And keep in mind, we're the Israelites and we're back. The Most High is calling back Israel. Shalom.
The east is where we're from. The 12 tribes of Israel. In 721 BC, the Assyrian king, he took us down, we fell. With a great escape we went through the Euphrates. The Lord held the water still. To a land where no mankind dwelt, we went. The 12 tribes of Israel. That's who we be. Manasseh, the Cubans, Ephraim from Puerto Rico, a valley from the Isles of Hawaii. The Lord is calling back Israel. Zebulon from Panama, Gad, the North American Indians, Simeon, the Dominicans. Our highest gathering Israel. The Arabs and Africans told us at gunpoint. Together our wives and children then sold us. In the belly of these great ships we traveled in fear. By the rivers of Babylon we found our brothers here. A high gatherer Asher in Colombia, Reuben from Australia, Issachar, the Mexicans. A highest gathering Israel. Judah, the Negroes, Benjamin, the West Indians, Levi, the Haitians. A highest gathering Israel. Reuben from Australia, Issachar, the Mexicans. That's who we be. Judah, the Negroes, Benjamin, the West Indians, Levi, the Haitians, Manasseh, the Cubans, Ephraim from Puerto Rico, a valley from the Isles of Hawaii. The Lord is calling back Israel. Zebulon from Panama, Gad, the North American Indians, Simeon, the Dominicans. Our highest gathering is